Hmm. 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 Kind of have the endless Twitch going. Let's see.
Top of the morning. Well, today it looks like we got some poll 85 clan chat and player tweaks, and also some news on Varlamore the Final Dawn, which will launch July 23rd. All right, so let's hop right into this. So we're back with another quality of life poll for our 85th entry. We've got a handful of tweaks to the clan broadcast system and a bunch of miscellaneous changes aimed at newer players. So it looks like they're mentioning here that they want to keep the next couple of quality of life polls on the lighter side because they're so focused on Varlamore the Final Dawn. So that is honestly okay. So we'd love to know how you feel about this. So once you've read through everything, please make sure to let us know how you feel about the entry offering in terms of size, scale, and scope. We know that there are still some changes to come from Poll 84, so keep an eye out for those in the future. But today, let's keep things short and sweet. So, clans, groups of like-minded gamers enjoying their time in Gielinor together, joining forces for fun events, chatting through the toughest grinds, and sharing progress via loot or level broadcasts. Clans are the beating heart of the MMO and what set them apart from traditional RPGs. It's definitely better to play this game with friends, even if you're not really playing together. Just chatting definitely helps, like they said, with long grinds and just kind of motivating each other. So let's see what they've done. The clan system in old school can be a little unwieldy for us to work with at times, but we've got a handful of tweaks we reckon we can deliver. that are sure to be welcome additions. Okay, so let's just check these out. So, if multiple clan members are in a group and all set new PBs, condense the message into one line rather than clogging up the clan chat with every player having set a new PB. Okay, cool. Take a pass over a loot that doesn't broadcast the boss it was obtained from. There's loads missing here, but it'd be nice to keep them all consistent. Add icons to broadcasts that come from a specific game mode, meaning you'll be able to tell whether something was achieved in the main game, Deadman, or temporary game mode like Leagues. That's actually pretty important, right? Add a filter to let clan owners hide the GP that clan members lose on death in PvP. You can already filter this out for kills, just not deaths. Perhaps the coolest one here, Clan Event Broadcasts, a new feature that allows you to send out chat broadcasts to your members for upcoming events. For example, if an event starts in 1 hour, you get a message in chat to let you know. If you log in within the hour before the event kicks off, you'd get the same notification. Get your whole clan on the same page. That's actually very nice, just to kind of keep everything organized, right? Especially if you're going to be doing an event together. The more people to come, the merrier. Okay, so other pulled changes. So permanent ropes at Backstorian Falls. So everyone wanted to head back to gaze upon the statue. Not really. People go there for like fire giants or whatever, right? And then you pretty much don't bring a rope and you fall off the edge, of course. So yeah, we'd like to give you a permanent ropes at the falls, so long as you finish both the waterfall quest and the Kandarin medium diary. It's as simple as that. Imagine voting no to that. That's freaking crazy. Okay, so Tithe Farm point cap. So we've made changes to the Tithe Farm over the last couple of years, and it's starting to see a lot more use than before. Yes, I made a video on it. It is definitely much better than before. So with more use comes more points, and with more points comes more players stacking them up. Unfortunately, those players hit the 1,000 point cap all too often, so we'd like to propose bumping it up to 16,000 to give you a little more time in your beloved farm, if that's your kind of thing. I don't know, like, 16,000 just such a random number, but yeah, of course, make it as much as you possibly can. People can just stay in there and get 99 farming. I think you can stay in there even if you log out, right? So you could literally just stay in there and get 99 farming. So yeah, might as well make the point cap go up. Disease-free Harmony Island herb patch. So we've all been there, finished our Mauritania Elite Diary, excited about the prospect of a brand new herb patch, planted our first seed, come back to harvest, and it is dead. It doesn't feel great for such a high level unlock to be worse than easier to unlock patches. So let's bring it up to speed by making it disease free. Why not, man? Like, imagine again voting no to this. Like, oh, keep old school, old school. So, Phrenic Sea Boots teleport increase. So, while not all achievement diaries are created equal, some rewards feel a bit naff compared to others. So, players who've completed the hard tier of the Phrenic Achievement Diary will secure themselves a pair of Phrenic Sea Boots 3, which comes with a handy teleport option. So the catch is you can only use it once per day. Okay, it's kind of funny because I have the elite one and I have had it for years and it's unlimited teleports. So I can't even imagine only having like 1 or 2 teleports because it is super useful, especially for killing like Vorkath, you know what I mean? So let's see. So to bring these more in line with other diary rewards, we'd like to have the number of teleports they provide increase with tiers from 1 to 3 to 5 to unlimited as you progress through the easy, medium, hard, and elite. I kind of like it like this because at the end of the day, if you want to have unlimited teleports, right, it makes you push for the elite. But definitely they should make the hard have like 5, you know what I mean, rather than like, what was it, once per day before. Okay, so we've got Frankenstein's shortcut. So despite this area's relevant clue step being only medium in difficulty, it's maximum in terms of annoyance. So particularly frustrating is that there is a perfectly good bridge sitting right there, and you've repaired far tougher in your time as an adventurer, so what gives? So we're proposing that after the completion of the Creature of Frankenstein, and with a decent construction level, think 50 to 60, that's decent, you should be able to repair a bridge and make use of a shortcut to speed up this clue in the future. Again, why not? It's just making like I love when they make little changes like this that really don't seem that big, but just take the annoyance out of it. You know what I mean? Like if it's right there, build a bridge, hop right over it. Right? Again, it's something else players can do to just make the game a little easier. And I'm not talking an ability bar easier. I'm just saying like, yeah, like just taking out the annoyance. Alright, so other unpulled changes. So while most of the changes above are pretty inconsequential, they're changing enough that we should pop them through the polling system. So this section details changes that we'd like to get your thoughts on and give you a heads up, but don't think polling is necessary. So let's take a look. Let's see what they think of this. So pet insurance changes, free pet reclaim. So that's it, the whole change. In 2025, or the gold sunk by this system isn't really kind of worth it, I guess, and only serves as a deterrent from people showing off their hard-earned or spooned pets. So to top it off, we'll be looking to refund prepaid insurance fees where possible. So if we know for sure that you put the GP there in the first place, then we should be able to give it back. I always thought the whole pet insurance thing was weird, but I guess if it's not taking that much gold out of the game, just, yeah, free pet insurance. Yeah, I mean, especially if you spent thousands and thousands of hours going for a pet, you know, just be able to reclaim it and actually show it off. Good change. Sheep herder improvements. So this one has potential to be an absolute earth-shattering proposal, changing the face of old school RuneScape forever. So ever prodded a sheep, had it get stuck against the wall, and then had to wait for it to move away, only for it to despawn entirely. Yeah, that quest is freaking terrible, man. We know that you have, and we know that it's a nuisance. So we've got a we've got a change ready. That means a stuck sheep will move into an empty space nearby when prodded. Not bad, if you ask us. Yeah, just get rid of the quest, man. Okay, so charter ship numbering. So based on your reaction, every time we add a new teleport to the POH jewelry box or spirit trees, we reckon you're big fans of memorizing a keybind and mashing it as quickly as possible whenever the relevant interface pops up. Yeah, I guess you kind of like get used to things, right? And then they change where it is. It kind of messes you up. We're proposing a teeny quality of life change that adds numbers / keyboard shortcuts to the various chartership locations, meaning you won't have to look for it on the map anymore. Just learn where you're going and mash, mash, mash. Yeah, just to make it quicker, I don't really think that should need to be told. Again, some of these are so stupid where it's like, if you vote no for this, like, I don't know what's wrong with you. You know what I mean? So world map UI improvements. So occasionally while scanning over the world map at certain zoom levels, it can be tough to actually figure out what text says. Font sizes / colors can clash in frustrating ways with the scenery on the map. So we'll be taking a pass over the fonts that we're currently using, and the thresholds for zoom distance for certain text is displayed. Okay, so which should make the map a lot more, yeah, so again, easier to read the map. It shouldn't have to be pulled. So hunter kits from more hunting experts. So hunter as a skill is in a bit of an unusual spot. While it's dominated by birdhouses and rumors, I've only ever really done birdhouses, you know what I mean, just easier. It can be tough to find your footing with the skill. There are hunter areas spread all over, and some of them have a dedicated hunting expert. So while your hunting expert in the Feld of Hills will set you up with a hunter kit, The Fremenic slash Relica expert leaves you to fend for yourself, hoping that you stumble across the hunter shop in Narda or Yanel. Yeah, on the other side of the map. Yeah, I already walked there being a new player. Since this is another early game hunter area, we'll be adding a one-time hunter kit claim to the Relica hunting expert. Why one time? Like, just make it permanent, but I mean, at the end of the day, right, if you go there, you get it, you can put all the stuff in your bank, and you should be good to go. Okay, so display name, setting UX improvements. So while you log in for the first time after creating your account, you need to set up your display name. So on desktop, typing doesn't start entering any characters until you click on a specific part of the UI. While on mobile, the keyboard doesn't even open automatically, and when it is opened, the keyboard blocks part of the UI. We're looking to tidy this up to make getting started a little less frustrating for new players. Their first taste of frustration should be going dry on a specific color of bread from imps, or bead from imps. True, that was my problem with 2004 Escape. I think it was the white bead or something. I just couldn't get one of them for the life of me. Not from navigating an annoying interface. Okay, so maybe fix RuneScape 3 if you guys know what an annoying interface is. That's enough of that. But yeah, good change overall. Yeah, I mean, this is a one-time thing, right? When you're making an account, that's pretty much about it. And add mobile buy options to desktop shops. Okay, so another short and simple one. Mobile players are able to click a button that allows them to buy bigger increments of items from shops with one single click. Many players on desktop are able to do the same with the menu entry swapper, but we think bringing these buttons to desktop for parity's sake should be a nice improvement to save you messing around with some settings constantly. I've heard of people like hopping onto mobile to do this and then like going back onto desktop, so I mean, might as well just add it to desktop, right? So other than that, we've got Varlamore the Final Dawn, and it is telling us it launches July 23rd. Yeah, very, very nice. And obviously, we've got the Final Dawn quest. The quest requirements are 66 thieving, 52 rune crafting, 52 fletching, and you have to have completed the Heart of Darkness. We'll be getting the new Doom of Macchiato Delve boss, which obviously this is going to be really fun and interesting, where you have to keep kind of going through and increasing the level. Lots of fun going to be here. We're obviously also getting the fletching activity, which is I'm actually really excited for. If it's anything similar to some other skilling content that we've got over the years, like Tithe Farm or Winter Todd or Temporis, I'm going to be really excited, honestly. And fletching hasn't really had many updates since the start of Old School, so honestly, this is going to be really good. Also, it's going to have some really nice rewards, like the fletching knife, the bowstring spool, and some like POH decorations. We'll be getting the Custodia Pass Slayer Dungeon, which is going to be very nice with the new Custodia Stalkers found in here. The Gemstone Crab boss, which is going to be more of a group boss, I believe. And yeah, it says you can fight it together with your friends. And a new weapon, which is going to be a two-handed twin weapon requiring 55 attack to wield. So, yeah, that's pretty much about it for now. Well, it looks like there's going to be a lot of quality of life improvements over the next little bit with Pole 85, and honestly, most of them are just kind of no-brainer to me. I don't know how everyone thinks of this, but a lot of them just seem like, why even pull this? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, if it just makes the game better overall, then I don't really see the need to pull it, but again, some small changes can really mean a lot, so I guess it's better to pull everything to get the whole community's decision and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm also really excited for the Final Dawn on July 23rd. There's actually so much content in it that I kind of want to book the day off of work, so we'll see if I can, but if I can't, it doesn't really matter. It is what it is. I'll just be able to log in the next day, you know what I mean? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video today. If you watched the whole video, comment shooting star down in the comments below. Appreciate it as always. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya. later.
Need some doubles here. Go ahead and load some cannons here. Grab some more water. Quick double there. Now we cook. Let's see what videos we got. It's loaded. Oh shit.
Really, really crazy. But let's get started and check this video out, boys. I'm gonna have this on my side monitor, right? Hope you guys don't mind. Pause the music, of course. Put my character in a nice place. The RuneScape documentary, 15 years of adventure. And this was 8 years ago. Holy. Guys, this game has been out for so long. Holy shit. It's almost old as me.
In 3 words, goodbye real life.
Yo! Goodbye real life, guys. Yeah. On day 9, guys, we're playing a lot.
No. I'm kidding. Okay, I would say you can count as 3 words. Best MMO ever. Definitely.
Ole mole. Year of adventure. Yo, this is epic.
This is the story of a world created in a kitchen, of a community bonding as they kill chickens or fish for sharks. It's a sneaky peek behind the scenes of an online world, of its highs and lows, and an attempt to solve something of a mystery. How a video game can still be loved and relevant after 15 years.
When I made this game, I thought it'd be just like any other, and it would, go online, maybe a few people play it, and then that would be it. Certainly didn't expect it to still be running 15 years later.
No way.
A few people play it, and then that would be it.
Wait, this was the first? This was the first?
Certainly didn't expect it to still be running 15 years later and still be being developed 15 years later. It's quite unbelievable just how big the game became. I still can't quite believe it.
But what is RuneScape? Many people won't even have heard of it, yet it's a game that holds 6 Guinness World Records and seen more than 240 million accounts created.
Holy!
It's become incredibly popular. Let's put it in perspective. If RuneScape were a country, it would have the 5th largest population in the world.
Yo!
It would have 63% of the population of the USA. It would have 3.2 times the population of the UK. And 8.9 times more than Australia.
That's insane.
RuneScape could definitely take Australia.
For me, RuneScape is the ultimate
That's crazy.
adventure. You have the opportunity to be a hero in a medieval fantasy world, saving people's lives, killing dragons, all sorts of really fantastical things. And it's an experience that you share with thousands of people at the same time. There's mystical, magical properties to the world. So there are goblins.
Is this a new one?
And there are orcs and elves and things like that. We never take things too seriously. Yes, you might be battling against forces that are trying to blow up the planet. But you always get a bit of a
What the
kind of
heck?
nudge, nudge, wink, wink joke that the players really, really enjoy.
This is about
I
RS3?
broke my hammer on a hiker last
Wait,
week.
this is
And
about
we've got this
RS3?
course run through it all. Of
Where's the
course,
OS
song
RuneScape?
about our game world, claiming followers, and then trying to become the single god entity for this entire universe.
You can do whatever you like, and that's the
It's
fun
about
part about
both,
this game.
guys,
It
it's
sets
about
it apart
both.
from everything else.
You know, weekly updates across 15 years.
Honestly, I feel like RS3 is probably like retail WoW, right? I think that's what it is. And I know classic WoW players hate retail, and retail players like get upset at that, and then they have a war. Is old school RuneScape like that too, where OSRS hates the new one, and then the new guy is like, is it a little battle? Okay. For me, I've come to a conclusion that both games are fun in its own way. Personally, talking about retail World of Warcraft versus classic WoW, right? It has their goods and bads, right? It's a different ball game, basically. And maybe RS3 is kind of like that with old school RuneScape. Let me hear from you guys. Yeah? Okay. RS3 is ass compared to retail WoW? Damn! But OSRS isn't. OSRS is Giga Chad. Okay. Well, I'm saying this because I know there was a lot of people saying like, boo, let's go RuneScape 3. And then there was one guy in the chat like, guys, stop, please. I love RuneScape 3. And I felt bad. I was like, damn. Maybe we are being too mean as a community, you know? Yeah.
You always have something new that you can do the next day.
Us
I
as
felt bad for that
players,
one guy.
We have the power to contribute to this ever-growing world.
RuneScape represents exactly the type of virtual world that I prefer to live in.
So much can happen in the fantasy world. You know, magic exists.
Dude, that guy's a gamer.
treasures, adventures, monsters threatening to rip your face off, exploration. All the things that we dream about, we read in fairy tales.
It's a very social game. I like that. It's if I'm in the mood to just
Young
want to
Bo-
chill
wait,
out
Young
and talk
Bodhi
to
was it?
people, I play RuneScape.
That sense of exploration and discovery is far more powerful in a game like RuneScape than most any other MMO.
8 billion fish are caught
I
in
can see that.
RuneScape every year.
That makes
and
sense.
every minute, over
Calm down, guys. Jeez.
2,000 cows are slain, which would make more than 3.5 million burgers in that minute. But that doesn't begin to explain the very strange beast that is RuneScape. Where did it come from? How has it become so popular? Well, to find out, you have to rewind back to the glorious 1980s.
The 80s saw a lot of cliche coming up. You know, bedroom coders make their games. That's very
Oh
important.
my god.
That sort of ability to, with a small team, in many cases, brothers. There's a load of different brothers who started up games companies. The Gowers are one such set.
I grew up in Nottingham with my family and my brothers Paul and Ian, and we were always very much a gaming family. Played lots of board games and computer games growing up. Played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons with my brothers and my dad. And he was always the dungeon master, and we were always exploring the dungeons. And I think that gave a lot of sort of inspiration for a lot of the the games I did, particularly my love of sort of role-playing games and things like that.
They got lots of imagination. They're always playing imaginary games, acting out things.
There was a very early fantasy game I played probably when I was about 5, but that was an early fantasy game called Sorcerer's Cave, which is a game where you lay out big tiles on the
Sorcerer's
floor and
Cave.
you're basically
Oh, it's a
to
card
explore
game.
them as a character. Probably give me a little bit of influence on what I do even.
I'm so happy. I mean, there's still board games, but I'm so happy we're born in an era where we have computer games, chat. So happy. I feel like most of us got to grow up with like technology evolving from like Game Boy Black and White to Game Boy Advance to SP and to DS. You know what I mean? Like we got to like grow up with it. I feel like it's so cool. Most of us, right? And we get to see like the internet like evolving.
I wonder what
so
those hats are.
fast. It's crazy.
Is this sick?
But then, you know,
The angler hat? Is that what that
Paul
is?
used to do really detailed pictures of
The Game Boy
castles
Color.
and pirate ships and
Damn, these are some good
all sorts of
drawings.
inventions. There's one called the Battler, and they told the others stories about them. He invented a whole range of characters, and a lot of it was based on what we did. You know, we used to go to castles and go to the seaside, and it was a sort of fantasy version of that.
I first got into computer programming when I was 7 years old, and my dad had a ZX Spectrum, and it came with a book of little programs you could type in.
The funny thing was that I actually bought a book specifically for Paul and another one for Andrew. Paul was far too interested in writing all these fantasy stories and...
Dude, we need to thank and respect these people. Now we just go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, Jarvis, do my homework. Man, everything's becoming so much easier now.
Huh?
These guys are the pioneers.
Imaginative games to be bothered with tedious computer programming. So once Andrew...
My guy got there and he just fucking got wrecked. What the hell?
And to my great astonishment, he then started spending virtually all his time.
Damn, dedication right there.
Just walked across the screen. It was very simple. I was only 7, but you know, I was ever so excited by the fact that I could do that, and it went from there really.
Oh my god, I think I played this in my school back then. I played something very similar. But you have to solve math problems.
From the computer sometimes. Occasionally, my parents would be like, "Go out and go for a walk, have the fresh air," and I'm just like, "No, I'm sticking on the computer. I know it's a sunny day outside, but I'm in the rhythm."
One of us.
I mean, I really did just spend my whole teenage years just writing computer games. I just absolutely love making them, and most of them were my own takes on things that I either couldn't afford initially or hadn't been imported to the Atari ST later. But I always
My
tried to
tempo
put
is not Ross this game.
make it a bit original. One game I particularly remember making, there was a computer game, a very famous computer game called Lemmings that came out for the Atari ST. And I really wanted to play it.
Dude, I saw my older brother play this. I was like 4 years old and I wanted to play. I think he let me play it once, but I killed all his guys like falling off a cliff or something. But I remember my brother playing this, my oldest brother. Holy shit.
Yeah, but I didn't have
Holy
enough money
shit.
to be able to buy it. I couldn't fork out the £20 it cost. So I decided to make my own copy.
We'd not actually played Lemmings at the time, but so
That's
we
so
didn't find out how it
cool.
worked, which was a good thing because it meant it came out a bit different. But it was a game where you had to make little ramps and stuff to move the ball bearings from the start to various obstacles to the exit. And Andrew did the coding and I did most of the level design for that.
I was very proud of that game because it was the first game I'd made, which I sort of looked at it and thought, wow, actually it doesn't look like it's been made by a kid. It's actually a reasonably playable game. I very much wanted to make one of everything, so I sort of go, right, I've made a strategy game, now I need to make an adventure game. Well, I've made an adventure game, but I haven't made a shooter game yet, and I kind of wanted to see if I could make every type of game.
What the fuck? This guy's the GOAT!
After leaving school, Andrew moved away from his family home to study computer science at Fitzwilliam College in Cambridge.
When I got there, took my computer with me, desperately worried it was going to get broken in the car because this is one I'd spent a whole year saving up for. Got it all set up and discovered that the rooms had an internet connection. I said to my friend, and I never lived it down, I don't think I'd use it. Obviously this turned out to be completely, utterly false. And then a few weeks later I caved and got myself a network connection, and I was immediately intrigued by the fact that there was online games you could play.
Games played in a web browser were becoming increasingly popular, and sites started popping up.
I used to love
One
these
such
type of
site,
game. That game right there.
contacted Andrew and asked
Oh
if he'd
my
be interested
God.
in making games for them.
The biggest game that I made for them was a thing called Castle Games Domain, and this was a multiplayer games parlor, and this was by far the most popular thing I made for them. It regularly had 200 to 300 people sort of playing games at once. You could go in there and you could always get a game. And I managed to get Ian to do some of the graphics for me for Castle Games Domain and quite a few of the Games Domain games I did actually.
I absolutely jumped on that opportunity.
I'm nerding out. This is so
So
cool.
he would email me a list of requirements. I would email him the graphics back again, and they would get put into the game.
The funny thing was the money I got from Games Domain far eclipsed the amount I got for my paper round, and I sort of thought, I spent a whole year saving up for this and I made it back in like a couple of weeks. If only I could have taken a loan. I started thinking, I wanted to make a game a bit more for myself, that wasn't going to sell to someone else. It was going to be my game. And one of my favourite games online at the time was a text-based game called Nanvent, which was a mud that you could play online. And I loved the fact that you could play it any time, day or night. And there'd always be someone there. You could log in at 3 o'clock in the morning and there'd be some person, killing monsters and talking and chatting. And there was loads of these out there. And, trying to make one that would stand out from the crowd would be very, very difficult. Because one of the key features of these games was that you didn't need to install any software. You could just connect to their server using Telnet and play. And I wanted to get that same play on any computer, carry on where you left off aspect, but with graphics. And because I knew how to do Java games, I realised I could combine the two together and make basically a graphical mud with all the benefits that a mud would normally have. And when my friend Pete heard out that I was making a graphical mud, he said to me, I've got a game a bit like that I've been playing on my computer. It's called Ultima Online. Would you like to see it?
This Britannia is but one of many in the multiverse that is Ultima on.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and I played that. I was like, this is exactly what I'm trying to make. But I didn't get to play it then, which was probably just as well because it meant my game didn't come out too similar.
Holy, was this a goat or what back then?
Till now, I never specifically heard that Ultima, was an inspiration for RuneScape. But there's been sort of this wave of people younger than me joining this industry throughout my career. And so when you do the same thing for so long, it means that you get the opportunity to set a few standards and for the younger group to come in and have had a chance to look at it first.
Wait, this game looks cool. Holy
Finally got to the
shit.
point where it worked and decided to put it online. There's a little test that it worked. Didn't have any servers, so it just ran on my computer in my room and just didn't switch it off. And probably only about a handful of people ever played Devious Mode, just a few people that I knew at Games Domain who I invited to give it a go. And then after a week of running it, I got enough feedback and I shut it down and carried on working on it.
Was the very, very early precursors of RuneScape.
No way.
Andrew graduated and found himself in demand. He was offered 2 jobs, one with his friends at Games Domain and another by a guy called Constant Tedder who ran a competitor, GamesWire. But like a true entrepreneur, Andrew decided to strike it alone and remain self-employed.
I decided, the time was right to pick Devious Mode back up and see if I couldn't finish it off. So started it again.
This guy looks young.
The previous year or 2 and started making an improved version of it, which I decided to call RuneScape.
RuneScape as a name, I think we sort of came.
Holy Varrock! Alcarid? Yo, this is our game right now. It's crazy.
We just sort of by throwing ideas around between us,
Balador?
throwing down lots of sort of fragments of words, and then trying them together in different combinations.
That's
and
cool.
seeing what sounded good. And of course, also checking that the domain name was actually free.
Our yes, our
RuneScape
game,
has a
guys,
name. The original version of the logo was just the name RuneScape in a straight line on the stones, but all of our friends were sort of joking around. They kept calling it RunEscape. So at that point, I split the line of stones in 2 and put the sword through the middle just to make sure there could be no ambiguity whatsoever. This was RuneScape, not RunEscape.
One of the things I was always very keen to have in from the start was the ability to make it quite easy to add content to the game. This was quite a common thing for text-based mods anyways, so I decided I'd come up with my own scripting system, which I called RuneScript. I realised that with this scripting system, up until this point, Paul had always come up with a lot of the ideas and the level designs for my games, but he wasn't a programmer, and I'd always had to implement everything he came up with, and I always found that he could come up with the ideas far faster than I could actually implement them. And so by creating this scripting system, I realised that I could actually get Paul to implement the ideas himself, and we could sort of alleviate a little bit of that imbalance.
The early experiments which I was doing to learn how to use Andrew's map editor and RuneScript actually ended up making it into the game in some form or another. So when I was learning how to use the RuneScape map editor that Andrew had created, I actually
no way, that's the first comment we
how
see.
to use the RuneScape map editor.
Wanna be my GM? There's no way. That's the first comment, bro. I guess back in the day and today's the same thing where guys are trying to rizz up the girls, huh? Sheesh.
That Andrew had created, I actually made Lumbridge and Lumbridge Castle, and it's quite for making a great big castle. It was
That's crazy,
the starting
guys.
point for the game. The first character which I created just to make sure that I could do character conversations was a character called Hans, which is still a character who wanders around Lumbridge Castle. We made the first quest very early on, that was Cook's Assistant. A lot of it was inspired by LucasArts style graphic adventures as well, especially Monkey Island and Dare the Tentacle. A lot of the way the conversation system worked was based on that, so you got all sorts of comical options for what sorts of things to say.
This must be that Woodstock place Mom and Dad are always talking about.
So finally, in January 2001, I got RuneScape to the point where I felt like I could actually launch it and give it to the public.
Holy!
We all logged on and created our characters, and then
dude, that looks like the most average bloke. That's crazy. I love that they changed it to what we have now. I'm so happy.
Andrew went over to Castle Games Domain because they knew that he was making RuneScape and told the game players in there, hey guys, RuneScape's launched. So a bunch of players came over from Castle Games Domain and they were the first players of the game.
It was far more popular than we could possibly imagine. Initially we only had one game world, and that filled up very quickly, and quickly set up more game worlds to take on the extra people that were online. There was always someone playing the game.
And I was trying to do this against the clock because there was more players coming in every day, and I was frantically trying to.
I was there. Type 1 if you were here, right there, guys. Type 1 if you played since then. Oh my goodness, what was I doing in 2001? I might have been playing. Was Warcraft 2 out by then? I think I might have been playing Warcraft 2 or something. Was Diablo out in 2001? I don't know. I played Diablo 2 and Warcraft 2 a lot, and then Warcraft 3 later along the line. But I don't know if it was there. Wait, there are some people that's been playing since then. Yo, you guys are the veterans who fed RuneScape to keep going. Thank you guys, huh? Nah, they're lying. You guys are lying to me? There's a lot of ones, man. I'm not sure. Kick is not lying. Kick is yeah, humble right there. Few people in YouTube, of course. 98% of the people typed 1 are liars. Damn. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe some of them are actually.
To keep up with the number of players, I didn't want to turn anybody away. RuneScape launched at a very interesting time, because it was just as the internet was becoming a big thing. It was just sort of joining the dot-com bubble slightly after, but internet gaming in particular was still taking off. Online games were just becoming a thing.
Back in the day that I used to play in the 1970s, Dungeons and Dragons had a tremendous appeal, and the internet was now allowing these people to join up together without having to sit in the same room with each other.
Imagine choosing any name and personality you want to be, and then playing other people from all over the country on your personal computer.
The fact that broadband became faster and faster and better in people's homes and cheaper really meant that online games and the internet kind of transformed distribution mechanisms.
It was an independent, self-published game in a time when there wasn't really independent self-published games. We were one of the few people who was actually able to publish our own game. The fact that you could play it without having to install any software, you could just play it in your web browser, it meant it got a big following in schools where people could play in their lunch break, and then they could play it when they got home, and people could play in libraries. I mean, I think that really helped the spread. And then disaster struck.
Too many people
Clicks
playing.
and mortar firms have flourished, but many pure internet companies have had problems this year. Back in March, 4 net-only firms entered the FTSE 100 because their share prices ranked them as a top UK business. Since then, their valuations have tumbled over 70%. No wonder even casual investors are becoming fussier.
The advertisers pulled the plug. They didn't want to buy adverts off me anymore. I suddenly got to the point where the amount of advertising revenue wasn't even enough to cover the hosting costs, and I didn't have a lot in the way of savings. And I was like, I can't afford to run this game. It's costing me money to run it. I'm going to have to shut it down. And I really didn't want to shut it down because I'd spent, well over a year making it by this point. Poured everything into it. It was really popular. There were probably about 600,000 people playing it by this point. And really didn't want to shut it down, so a bit of an emergency. So the first thing I did was trying to save money. I moved back to my parents' house in Nottingham.
We actually used half of our parents' kitchen, so Mum put a curtains, subdividing the like two separate bits of our kitchen together and turned half of it into an office. And then we spent about 6 months working from our parents' kitchen.
That's passion right there, guys. That's why this game is good. These passionate people quitting their work, moving home to save money, working on it every single day. Goodness, that's how you win, guys. And W parents for believing in them, because maybe at that time it was hard to believe them, you know?
Terribly squashed in. I do remember I couldn't get in to load the washing machine because the computers were all around it.
We could all work together properly. We weren't having to rely on email and just we were playing board games again together as we always have done.
They were going around the house with a microphone looking for interesting sounds.
I remember the cooking sounds.
They worked so you could AFK in Fossil Island.
And my mum happened to be frying some bacon one day, and I was standing there with the voice recorder recording it. And the sound of cooking in RuneScape Classic is the sound of my mum frying some bacon.
I was a primary school teacher, so it was a school holiday. So I got the time, and I've always loved drawing. So I said I'd have a go, so I did 4 animals for him. I had a camel, a bear, a spider, and a bat. And they're all still on Classic.
I did bits and pieces, even though I wasn't much of a graphics artist. I did the RuneScape Classic cow. Was my proudest graphical achievement in RuneScape Classic.
Damn.
After 6 months of working from home, the game was still costing more than it was making. While anyone else would have thrown in the towel, the brothers looked at other options to keep the game running.
We thought about making a members version in the hopes that enough people would want to subscribe.
At this point, I realised that if I was going to start charging the users for playing the game, it was going to be becoming a much more commercial operation. I was going to have to do things a bit more seriously. I wasn't going to be able to just ignore people's customer support. And I didn't really know anything about running this sort of business. I was a bit anxious about taking money off the users directly. And I thought to myself, well, there was that chap who contacted me who I nearly set up a business with, Constant Header. I wonder if he'd be interested in turning this into a proper business where we actually charge a subscription.
Constant was still interested and took them up on their offer. He took on the position of CEO, and they prepared RuneScape to accept paid members.
We sort of figured we need 3,000 people to subscribe out of our 600,000 or so players to cover our hosting costs. Within the first couple of days, we had 5,000 subscribers, and we're like, we're saved! We've got enough! We're not going to have to shut the game down.
The community, the player base just sort of overwhelmed us in terms of the number of people we took in, even just in that first day.
And I was in a real rush to get the business set up and recruit some staff. Started looking around for an office, found a little sort of incubator for startup businesses called the St. John's Innovation Centre. Went to them and said, need an office, I need it now. We've got people paying for the game. We haven't got any staff to answer their emails. How soon can you get me an office? And they're like, you can have it tomorrow. I was like, yeah, office tomorrow. Contract. Had a number of people coming in for an interview that didn't have any furniture at this point. So, the interview taking part in a completely empty office with nothing in it.
And I was interviewing people while myself and Constant were wandering in and out of their little office with desks and computers and setting them up behind them, which was probably quite a distracting way to have one's interview.
And I remember the night before sort of frantically Googling sort of like, how do you interview someone? What did you ask at an interview? What are you supposed to do?
My interview was awesome because it was just a room and there was just a table with a laptop on it and Andrew, and that was it. And I thought, what have I sort of stepped into? And he said, can you type something? And I remember Andrew kind of watching me type, and then it was like, great, all right. And then
that was brilliant.
I mean, dude, if you knew how to type back then, you were kind of up there in the level, because most of the people were like, in Korea, they call them eagles, because you like pick the keyboard and you go like looking at them, right? Like back then, people didn't know how to type, man. Not eagle, like eagle.
I mean, to start off with, a company was so small.
No, most of the people know how to type these days. There's no way.
Was to build their desk and construct their desk and set up their computer. We didn't have any staff who did that sort of thing. We didn't.
When I started, there was one other person, and that was it.
Yeah.
We didn't have any internet. There was no. I mean, RuneScape was running off servers, but we didn't have any internet in the office. And then it was like that week, some point, we got dial-up.
just like it had grown fast in terms of number of players in the first year, in the second year it was it was a very rapid growth of the number of people paying for the game, and we moved office incredibly frequently.
I like the fact that we just knock a hole in the wall and just expand.
I remember Andrew's room though. We used to have about 5 monitors set up. I remember him having this banging trance music.
Yeah,
and there was like a screen of code here, and something here, and there was this really thumping techno, and I was blown away by that.
I'd grown up looking at things like MUDs, multi-user dungeons, and I had been a role player all my life, so running sort of Dungeons and Dragons campaigns and things like that. And the first time I looked at RuneScape, it looked like a graphical MUD. And I always got frustrated with a lot of online games that they just didn't take their storytelling very seriously. And I was engaging with this quest, and there were nice little character dialogues, and even though the graphics were incredibly simplistic compared to the games I was playing on my consoles at the time, there was something about it, something that really kind of resonated with me as a storyteller, but also someone who wanted to explore the kind of potentials that the internet had to offer, and it just grabbed me, and I thought, I'm going to give this a go.
As well as recruiting a lot of customer support staff, I was also actually spending an awful lot of time trying to create the systems to support them, because it was all one thing having people in to answer the emails, but initially there wasn't actually anything they could actually do for people. So people would say, I've lost my password, and there was nothing they could do about it. There was no way they could verify that they were the right phone, and they couldn't even reset the password.
Everything was done by email, so you had like all the reports from players saying, I'd lost my dragon helmet and all the rest of it, and they all came to your inbox. So after a while, I had about 1,000 emails in my inbox, and I was just like, I don't know how to answer these people,
So I think there was probably about sort of 20, 30 different systems that we actually ended up making in-house, all each of which did a different function just to support the game.
I guess the weirdest thing was that people with outside experience would come in and used to things working in a certain way, and we did them completely differently. So I think that's why for such a long time we actively did not look for people with proper industry experience, because actually it wasn't any good to us. And it was kind of good, because if you needed the system to do something, you could just go and ask for it, which was pretty cool, really.
RuneScape's first incarnation was a little rough around the edges, but it was revolutionary.
I'm so happy this is not the graphic.
For its time.
41.
It was an online world of adventure.
I mean, this doesn't look bad.
Big
actually.
dings, big
armor,
dings.
when they have like pants and jeans.
That's what we like to see. Let's see, what else we're gonna watch.
Because I don't want to, embarrass him by getting beat up by a level 3. James, eat some shrimp. And who better to kill than just, average, everyday citizens? We're going to start by training attack so we can land more shots, and then we'll work our way up to strength and then defense. God damn, this guy packs a punch. This is taking an embarrassingly long amount of time. What is this? Go down. There we go. There's level 2 attack. And we killed somebody, which is always nice. We got some fire runes and some bones. We need to bury every single set of bones we get.
Forgot how much XP this
forever,
gives.
at least until level 43, because every bone will matter.
Let's see.
I'm also just going to pickpocket this guy to get a little bit of cash, because I'm not sure how often they drop cash, but they definitely, give coin pouches when you pickpocket them. These dudes are honestly kind of kicking my ass. I'm going through a lot of food by training on them. I'm going to do a little bit more pickpocketing. I think I'll get to like level 5 or something just to get a little bit of starting cash. I got a full batch of coin pouches. Let's see how much that is. A pretty damn good amount, I'd say. I'm going to get a couple more of those, 28 stacks of the coin pouches. Might need to get some more food first, though, god damn. I can also talk to Ayesha right here next to the cactus patch, and she can sell me some basic farming supplies. So I'm going to buy a rake. I guess the rake is all that really matters right now, because I can get farming experience this way. And when I'm done with the rake, I can store it with the tool leprechaun, and this guy's going to come in handy because he can note anything that can be farmed. So when I'm killing these men over here, they're going to drop herbs, and I can just take them right over here and note them on this guy. And then, boom, that's Herblore XP right there. You know what I'm saying, boys? But I think right now we need some more food, so I'm going to go catch some more shrimpers. I'm glad to see that there's clearly an impling spawn around here somewhere, because implings are a big part of my master plan for this series. So every time I see an impling, like, I'm going to try and mentally keep track of where I see them, because in the future, implings are going to be part of the grand scheme. There we go. Got a much better food haul that time. And now we will kill more men. There we are, the first herb drop. So when we get these, we can just take them over yonder to the tool leprechaun, and boom, he notes them. Isn't that handy? And then we can take it to any bank and unnote it. So it's all a good system, very good system. We're pretty much gonna be cleaning herbs all the way up to level 12 until we can make strength potions. And then that's how we're gonna be training. So it looks like we're gonna be saving up any terramins we can find. Bro, no way. The second herb drop is a Renar weed. That's crazy. Well, I'm definitely keeping it, but that's going to hold up an inventory slot for quite a long time. But, you know, a boy needs his prayer potions. I might decide to drop them and then just do a Renar grind when I need them. But for now, we're going to dedicate an inventory slot to it. I've also never played an Ultimate Ironman before, so I have a lot to learn about inventory management, but I'll probably figure it out the hard way. Don't worry. This guy just gave us level 5 attack, which means we can now equip steel weaponry. So we're going to head down to the scimitar shop and see how much a steel scimitar costs, and then we're going to pickpocket these guys until we can afford it, because that'll be a really nice upgrade. Oh, and he gives us our first Guam leaf. Very nice. We can clean that. And then I really don't think we can do anything else with a Guam leaf. Yeah, it's just this, and I have no access to Eyes of Newt. So I'll see how much they sell for, and if they can't sell for anything, then I will just drop them. But let's see. Steel scimitars cost 400 coins, so that's how much we're going to have to make. Let's see. He buys Guam leaves for 1 coin. Oh, boy. He buys the Guam leaves for 1 coin, so I think I'm just going to drop them. We just got level 10 thieving, which is pretty nice. Pretty useless here, except for the fact that we have a better chance of pickpocketing men. But still a nice clean level. And when we open up these coin pouches, we have over 400 coins, which is amazing because now Zeke, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm looking to buy a steel scimitar. Oh my God, look at that sexy thing. Rest in peace to the bronze scimitar. I hardly knew ye, but I will sell you back right here. God damn, now we're looking good. Also, I decided to keep this Guam leaf in my inventory just on the off chance we get a Dr. Jekyll random event, because if I give him the Guam leaf, then he'll give me a full strength potion instead of a 2-dose strength potion. Ooh, what do you have for me, Rick Turpentine? Oh my God, that's so many coins. Thank you so much. That was a nice little random event. And speaking of random events, I'm just going to say, if we ever get a genie or the classroom imp random event, we're going to be putting all the XP lamps first onto Hunter, because we need level 5 Hunter in order to trap the golden warblers, which are in the desert, obviously. So we're going to lamp to level 5, and then we'll catch these guys until we can do Desert Devils at level 13, and then we'll do these guys until we can catch any kind of implings we want, and then eventually to the orange salamanders. Yeah, that's where the lamps are going to go first, is into Hunter.
Yeah, I can never
so
imagine doing like
I'm going to switch the
area
attack style
lock.
to strength and train that up to 5.
Like, these guys are crazy. Like, imagine, like, oh my God, like 500 hours of just clicking back and forth. I could never.
As well. And we just got our first hit points level. Hit points is a very important skill for us. Oh, and 2 strength. Hit points is a very important skill for us because one of the overarching goals on this account will be to get 99 hit points. And that is because you can buy the hit point skill cape right here in the desert. And that's going to be our best in slot cape, is the hit point skill cape. So we are definitely going to be going for 99 hit points. That's way in the future, but just something to keep in the back of my mind. Ooh, we just hit 2 prayer just from burying regular bones. Oh, baby, we got an armor upgrade. I hate the way that the medium helmets look, but god damn it if it isn't efficient. We're also saving up 1,000 coins to buy a pair of steel plate legs. I decided I'm just going to wait until we get the steel, and I'm not going to worry about bronze or iron. And we just got our first beginner clue scroll as well. Beginner clue scrolls are actually going to be pretty helpful, and we can actually probably realistically do beginner clue scrolls. Can't do this one, that's for sure. And I just hit level 5 strength, so I'm going to switch it up to defense. And this guy gave us 12 hit points as well as 5 defense. So real MVP over there. Now that we have 5 defense, we can officially wear the steel plate legs whenever we have enough money to buy them. So I'm going to switch back to strength for the time being and just keep on killing these guys because I'm enjoying the loot that they're dropping. Level 3 prayer. I got a mind rune drop. That is very nice. Assuming I can get some air runes, you know.
When I find that red
I
bead.
can cast airstrike enough times to hopefully at least get a magic level.
These imps, dude.
Just hit level 10 strength. That's pretty cool. So I've decided to do a little bit of a change of pace from just killing men. I think I'm going to switch up and do some mining just to kind of test out the methods that I'm going to do. I was looking around the map. So there is the mine up here, obviously. And this one has copper and tin. But it's also surrounded by scorpions, which right now can probably fuck me up. But if we go take this boat over to here, there's a mine right up here with 1 copper and 1 tin. We can just mine those, and then once we have enough, we can take the boat back and then run up to the furnace, smelt the bars, and then run over to the anvil and turn it into stuff, and then go back and repeat the process. That's not having a bank, you know, that's the ultimate Ironman life, so we gotta do that running back and forth stuff, but it should be pretty relaxing. So I mined 5 and 5. I mined a, you know, full inventory of both. Or, you know, not full inventory, but an Ultimate Ironman's version of full inventory. Then we just run back down here, take the ferry once again, then we run up to the furnace, and from here we can smelt our bronze bars. Now I just gotta swing by the old general store and pick up a hammer. There we go. And then we walk to the anvil. Now let's see what kind of stuff we can smith. Yeah, I'll take an axe. Don't have a woodcutting axe yet, and it looks like we're just making a bunch of them. Level 2, what else can we make? A mace. I'm gonna pass on that, but I will make these because they're probably a little bit better XP. I don't know. Wait. Do maces have a prayer bonus? Yeah, maces have a goddamn prayer bonus. How long was I supposed to go before realizing that? I'm still gonna stick to the scimitar, but like, I don't know. I feel like I wish I knew that.
What's
I don't know why I dropped those. I should probably sell those. And I could probably pick all these up too while I'm over here just to make even more money on the way back. God damn, I'm smart. What's this red dot over here? What's this spawn? Oh, there's a hammer spawn. I could just pick this up every single time I come over here to smith. I don't even need to carry a hammer around. That is an interesting turn of events. Just to prove a point, I'm gonna drop this hammer. I was taking a look at the smithing table to see what kind of stuff I'd even want to make for now. Like right now I'm just testing out methods, but there's got to be something that I want. And there is. I'm going to get up to level 5 smithing so I can start making bronze arrowheads. And then I can start training range. There's a couple of regular trees up by the mage training arena, so I can start my woodcutting and fletching grind up there. And then once I have the bronze arrowheads unlocked, boom, we got arrows, we got bows, we got a little bit of everything. Except that I just realized as I was saying that I don't have a bowstring until I train my hunter to start catching imps. So that'll be a problem. There's 5 mining, which is pretty cool. Doesn't really give us anything. But I did just find something out that was really cool. I was on the wiki and I found out that apparently there is a regular short bow spawn right about here. There's a regular short bow that spawns right there, which means that we can make bronze arrow tips, but we got to go over there and grab the bow. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot of dangerous stuff out in the desert, so I'm trying not to really go out there until I have a nice base little combat level and maybe some basic gear. I just hit level 7 mining, and we're already at total level 100. That feels pretty nice. Triple digits, baby. There we go. Level 5 smithing has been achieved. We can now make bronze scimitars and bronze arrowheads. I'm probably just going to stick to the arrowheads. The bronze scimitars are probably good money, but you know, that range XP, you can't pass that up. I think I'm going to try my luck in the desert and see if I can actually grab myself that short bow. Really hope I don't die, because there's a lot of really strong things out there that can do a lot of damage to me. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I've been saving up for the steel plate legs, but I'm going to have to spend a little bit of money. Why is the scorpion still following me? Get off, bro. I'm going to trade shanty. I'm going to buy a shirt, a robe, and boots, which cost a total of 100 coins. And then I'm going to buy just 1 water skin. Alright, James, are you ready to go out into the desert? Let's see how this goes. First of all, I just want to say I have a bad history with these fucking camels because I had an Ironman. I still do technically. I got the Phoenix pet on it, brought the Phoenix pet out to the desert, but I got fucking one-shotted by one of these, or I don't know if it was one shot, but I definitely died from one of these camels. So I'm gonna stay way away from them. And this is my home for the next however long it takes for me to defeat the Calphite Queen and take all of the treasures that she has. There's the short bow. We now can train range on the account. Let's get the hell out of here. And a quick run past the danger. Go, tank it. Tank it. Okay, we're good. We're good, ladies and gentlemen. We survived our first trip into the desert, and that feels pretty damn good. This is big. This is big. I'm gonna feed you a shrimp because James over here, he's about to grow up. There he is. James, you're all grown up. You have anything to say?
Meow.
Very nice. So I think it's time to get started on some fletching. I got 165 bronze arrow tips over here, and now I'm gonna head over to the mage training arena and get my woodcutting on. So these trees right here, these regular trees, this is it. There's only 3 types of trees I could possibly cut in all of the desert. There's these regular trees, there's these magic trees, which I unlock at 75, and then there's one teak tree over in the ruins of Uzer, way down here. I'm going to be cutting regular trees until level 35, and then teak trees until level 75. There's level 4 wood cutting, and then we also have our first full batch of
some
regular logs after this one goes down. Cool, and now we can start fletching. We're going to be turning these into arrow shafts. 5 XP each. This is not going to be a fast process, but I've got to get used to it because that's the ultimate Ironman life. Just going to pop this down here and get back into it.
Good.
So Shanty sells feathers. A feather pack is 100, so here we go. 50, 65. Sweet. And now we can turn these into arrows. There we go. Finishing up at level 5 fletching. And I have a shit ton of bronze arrows. I'm going to drop the bronze pickaxe because there's a lot of places where I can get one around here. But look at that. We are looking good. So I think this is a pretty good spot to end the first episode. We got a lot done. Here's all the stats. We boosted up our combat stats a little bit. We got a few prayer levels. Worked on our cooking, fishing, mining, smithing, a little bit of wood cutting and fletching towards the end there. And I think I'm just going to be, you know, shrimping for a while. We need to get 35 fishing, I believe. Yeah, 35 fishing in order to unlock Temperos, which is going to be absolutely massive for this account. So I'm just going to be doing some fishing until we get to 35, and then I will see you in the next episode where we will get some more stuff done. Alright guys, I'm about to lay a lot of information down on you, so I'm going to try and explain this as simply and effectively as I can. The main thing I'm working towards right now is unlocking the city of Sophanim. In order to do this, I need to complete the Ichthlorin's Little Helper quest. And there's one item that's required for this quest that I cannot get in the desert, and that is willow logs. If you remember me saying in the last episode that there would be another exception I need to make, but that it wouldn't be for another couple of episodes, this is the one I was referring to. The thing is, I don't want to leave the desert any more than I absolutely have to, so I want to make sure that I get every remaining exception that I have all done in one trip so that I only have to leave the desert once. The other exception I need to make is I need to relocate my house to Polnivnich. So to do this, I need to get 20 construction in the desert before I can leave. The problem with this is the only way to get to my house to train construction is with the teleport to house spell, which requires 40 magic to cast and 27 crafting to make rings of dueling to teleport back into the desert. And it is incredibly difficult to train magic in the desert because there's literally no way that I know of to get air runes before unlocking the rune store from Ali Morrisane. And in order to unlock his rune store, we need to complete the feud quest and briefly leave the desert to talk to Aubrey in Varrock. So to summarize, before we can leave the desert, we need to have level 20 construction, which requires 40 magic and 27 crafting, level 30 woodcutting to get willow logs, and have the feud quest done so we can unlock Ali Morrisane's rune shop. Now the biggest problem in all this is the lack of air runes. There's no way to get air runes in the desert besides his rune shop, or from impling jars and clue scrolls, and since we can't use Ali's store until we already have 40 magic, we're left with one main choice. We have to go clue hunting. The citizens of Al-Kharid have a 1 in 90 drop rate of beginner clue scrolls and a 1 in 128 drop rate of easy clue scrolls. There are a total of 3 beginner clue steps that you can do in the desert, and a total of 9 desert steps for easy clues. I'll go more into detail about how I'll complete clue scrolls a little bit later, but assuming I were to get a reward casket for either one of these, it's still about a 1 in 40 chance to get an air rune drop from these caskets, or even better, a Staff of Air, which is the #1 item that I am going to be going for from clue scrolls. The odds are very much against me, but let's get started. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another thrilling episode of the Desert Locked Ultimate Ironman. In between episodes, I've been working on my fishing because we're still trying to get that level 35 fishing goal so we can unlock Temperos. And I spent all my money on fishing bait, and now I need some more money, so we're sitting here robbing the fair citizens of Al-Qarid. We're trying to build up a bit of a sizable cash stack here. We got up to 25 fishing and 28 cooking, as we're just going back and forth between the fishing spot and the range to cook them. So yeah, I'm gonna get some more money, and then I will report back. So I just found something pretty interesting. Most of the time when people do pickpocketing, like if they're at Artie Nights or something, they will switch their NPC attack options to always right click so that they don't have to like click and then pickpocket, click and pickpocket. But for men, it doesn't work because their next option is talk to, so it doesn't go to pickpocket, it goes to talk to. But not for this guy. This guy, he doesn't have a talk to option. I guess he's a bad man, so he is just free to left click just like that, which makes this a lot more AFK. So, the more you know. This is huge, guys. Open this pouch up. Boom, we are at over 1,000 coins on the Desert Locked UIM. Very nice to see. I was gonna save up 1,000 coins for steel plate legs, but I don't think I really need them right now because I don't need the defense quite yet, and they're super heavy, so I don't want to spend my money on that. So I'm just gonna go back to the ruins, and I will buy myself some more fishing supplies. We're gonna get 35. And there's a fishing store right over here. Get ourselves a rod and a couple packs of bait, and we're good to go. Oh my god, James. You've let yourself go, James. You've grown into a mighty feline, and this is how you will probably be forever. Alright, Rick, what you got for me? A sapphire. Let's go see how much we can sell that for. So I'm going to compare the price for this sapphire at the general store and also at the gem stall and see. I'm pretty sure it'll sell for more at the gem stall, but I'm going to test it out anyway. 10 coins here and 18 coins here, so definitely going to sell it right there. Understocked? Jeez. Guess I got a world hop to sell gems. I really hope that this gem shop isn't one of these places that's like trafficked by bots and always, everything's sold out. Because I was really hoping to buy gems from here. Ah, Jesus. Looks like it might be. And I think I found a world where I can sell it. There we go. 18 GP. So my system up until this point was just going back and forth between fishing and cooking, and then dropping all the fish on the way over there. But I think what I'm going to start doing is every time I cook the fish, I'm just going to pickpocket this guy until, he beats me up enough to where I eat all the food, and then I'll go fish more. It's a lot slower fishing XP, but at least it's self-sufficient because I'm making some money off of it. And here is a thieving level. We are now 25, which is pretty damn big because we can now pickpocket warriors. And what do we have here? An abundance of warriors that we can now pickpocket. And these guys, well, we're going to get caught a lot more often than with the men, but they do drop 6 times as much coins. So we're going to get a lot more money, but we're going to need to go through a lot more food, which is good because we're trying to fish a lot more as well. We got another random event here. Let's see what this guy has to give us. A gold necklace. Oh, it's totally useless, but, looks good. So when I pickpocket this guy right here, boom, that brings me up to level 30 thieving, which is the requirement for the feud quest. We are coming up on a huge milestone right here. Come on, don't be afraid. There we go. Level 35 fishing, we can now fight Temperos and harpoon tuna. So we just unlocked 2 amazing things. There is a place where I can actually harpoon tuna right underneath Temperos. Right down here, I can cage lobsters and then harpoon. But then also Temperos has an amazing drop table with so many useful things for this account. But we got to 35 fishing, 39 cooking, 30 thieving. So we got a pretty good baseline for a lot of our skilling stats. And now I think I want to train my combat and then maybe even do some beginner clue scrolls if I can. I'm just going to start killing men I'm probably going to train my attack to level 20 so that I can unlock the Mithril Scimitar, which is in the Scimitar shop. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. We'll see if we can get any beginner clues done. So since I'm going to actually start doing some combat training, I think I'm going to pull the trigger on these steel plate legs. God damn, do I look good. Man, I'm getting so many Renar weeds from these guys. Swear to God. And I got like a little stack built up. Let's see. I'm going to note these real quick. And we have 5 Renar
spiders
weeds.
at again.
Starting to get to the point where I don't want to just throw them away, but they are taking up an inventory spot, and I won't be able to use them for a long time, but it'll probably be worth it. Level 12 attack, by the way. And we just hit 7 prayer from burying regular bones, and we unlocked a new prayer, clarity of thought. Add this to the quick prayers, and then I can do a little, pray flick, just like that. There's another prayer level and another Renar. I just got an attack level and just saw that it brought me up to 200 total level. We're just tanking on through these, aren't we? And this poor man right here will be giving me a very important level. There it is, level 20 attack. And that level is important because we can now go into the Scimitar store and we can buy a Mithril one. Mithril Scimitar has been unlocked. Oh, that's so much better.
How do you get that?
Level. There it is, level 20 attack. And that level is important because we can now go into the Scimitar store and we can buy a Mithril one. Mithril Scimitar has...
I didn't have any there. I gotta head all the way back. Some of these. let's go check out and see if we can get a Mithril Scimitar.
Has been unlocked. Oh, that's so much better. Sweet. We still haven't gotten any beginner clues yet, so we're still grinding, but at least we made a nice upgrade. I think I'm going to switch this up to strength. We're going to get strength up to 20, and then we're going to do defense all the way up to 40, so we can wear rune armor that we get from Tempros. There's level 9 prayer. We have an evil Bob now. All right, let's see what we get. A bunch of coins. I think it was about 500 coins, so very nice. I will take it. Back to my manslaughter. So we just got to drop another grimy Guam leaf. This one's pretty important because once we clean it, boom, level 4 herblore. We got all the way from 3 to 4 just from cleaning Guams. We got to get one more level off of Guams before we can start cleaning the Marintils. All right, we got our first beginner clue scroll. The real question is it an Alcarid step?
Oh, I can buy one.
Ah, it's not, goddammit. The grind continues. I got another beginner clue scroll, but it was not an Alcarid step, so I had to drop it. This is crazy. I went like over 200 kills without a beginner clue scroll, and then I got 3 pretty much within the past like 10 or 20 kills. Is this an Alcarid step?
Right.
It is not.
Oh,
another drop. We got an easy clue scroll. Can we do this one? We cannot. Huh, this is weird. I just hit 21 strength, and I guess I didn't even notice that I was 20 because I was planning on switching up to defense after I hit 20 strength, but yeah, I guess we got a little bit of a head start. Now that we have a pretty good foundation on these, I'm going to obviously switch to defensive mode, and then I'm going to start killing the Alcarid warriors because they have the exact same drop table as men, except they have a little bit more hit points, which means we get more XP out of them, and also if you attack one, the rest of them start attacking you too. So it's pretty good combat training because it's a little bit more AFK. So I'm going to go into this room right here. Holy shit. These guys are attacking me. Holy shit. Oh my god. This isn't as fun as I thought it would be. One at a time. They do be slapping though. Okay, new plan. I'm going to finish killing this guy, and then I'm going to go get some more food, and then I'm going to train my defense up to 10 before I start killing these guys. These Renar weed drops are really getting out of control. I've gotten 11 of them so far. I've only gotten 2 Harlanders, like, 8 Terramins, 7 Marintils. Like, I thought that the Renars were supposed to be a little bit more rare than the other ones, but I am getting so many of these. We got a lot of prayer potions for the future, I guess. Another beginner clue. Nope, not what we need. And there is a defense level, 15 defense. And check this out, we also got a prayer level. There's 13 prayer. I know I said that we were going to stop at 10 defense, but, can't stop, won't stop. So there's 15. I'm going to do one more change before we start switching it up to the Alcarid warriors, though. I'm going to get my smithing up a little bit so that I can make a few upgrades. I'm going to make the bronze chain body and the bronze kite shield. So we're going for 12 smithing. So we're going to head back to the old mine. So there's a few items that I've just been dropping because they're really easy to obtain. One of them is I dropped the bronze pickaxe because they have a spawn for one right here inside of this rock. So right before I go mining, I can just pick up this axe right here. And then when I'm done mining, I can just drop it and then pick another one up later. And then also the hammer, which I think I went into in the last episode. There's a spawn right next to the anvil. So it makes it all pretty easy. I don't have to keep the pickaxe or the hammer on me at all times. There's level 7. I just want to point out how much I love this. Just look at the chat box and look at all these levels. So many levels. It's so nice to look at. That's one of the best parts about new accounts is just all those fucking new levels coming in. And I do want to mention, because I think people are going to say it, yeah, this is a very long path I have to take to, make a few bronze arrow tips at a time. And I know that the Shanty store sells bronze bars, but I'm not too concerned with that. 1, because I want to save my money, because I don't have that much of it. And 2, because I do need mining and smithing levels, so I might as well just get them now. So I know I can buy them from the Shanty store, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep on keeping on. Well, I guess we'll do this random event here. Well, that was a hell of a workout. I'm exhausted. The camo top, I think that's the one that I would have wanted the most, actually. Actually, take it back. I don't like it. I thought it would be like, I don't know, some kind of desert camo thing, but yeah, I don't like it very much. I'm just going to drop it. And here's another smithing level. Level 8. And we got level 9. There's 10 smithing. There's level 15 mining. This one's pretty big because we can now mine iron ore, and as you can see, we have quite a few to choose from. There's level 11 smithing. We actually got that off of smelting, which is pretty cool. We have the bronze chainmail body. Oh, snap. I'm going to make me one of those when I get over there. All right, so we can now make a bronze chain body. You ready for this? We finally have an armor upgrade. Look at that. Look at this absolute Chad right here. God damn. This extra defense will come in handy when we start killing the Al-Kharid warriors. So we got one more to go, then we'll make the bronze kite shield, and then we'll be all set. There it is, guys. That's level 12. I'm kind of digging the fact that we got it off of smelting too, because that means we can make our bronze kite shield, and we already have the bars for it. We don't have to go make another trip just for the kite shield. So let's go make it, and then start the real combat training. And this is it. The incredibly slow smithing grind has all led to this moment. We're making a bronze kite shield. Let's compare the stats. So we have the wooden shield. Let's see how much better this is. Oh, not as big. It's honestly not as big of a difference as I thought it would be, but you know what? I'll still take it. And yeah, rip to the wooden shield. You were good to me. And now I think we have everything we need. I'm just gonna go grab a little bit more food, and then I think we're gonna start killing the Al-Kharid warriors. So now that I can catch and cook tuna, I think that's what I'm gonna use for my food, because it should be a pretty good food source. So I'm gonna buy a harpoon, drop this pickaxe, because I can just, get it back right here. And then there should be a harpooning spot right down here, and that's where I'm gonna go. So it looks like the desert heat isn't really getting to me where I am right now. Maybe it's because I'm, I don't know, in the green technically, not really in the middle of the desert. So I'm gonna drop my water skin that I have, and then try and snag another fish. It takes a long time to fish each one of those because my fishing level's so low. So let's see how many of these bad boys I burn. Honestly, that's pretty good. I think that's all I'm gonna need. All right, we finally have everything we need to kill the Al-Kharid warriors. So let's go see how well we do. 8 kills in, we already got an easy clue scroll. Odds it's an Al-Kharid step? Yeah, I didn't think so. I think I just realized something. Something that means that a lot of the time I just spent is, not wasted, but kind of wasted. The main goal, I need to start grinding beginner clues because I need to get a Staff of Air. And it's way more efficient to kill the men for it than it is to kill the warriors because they have the same drop rate for a clue and these guys are way easier to kill. So I think, honestly, I'm just going to go back to killing the men and hope I get the beginner clues. We still got this sweet-ass armor, and it was nice to have a little break because I already killed 344 men up to this point. That was 345. But yeah, we're just going to get back into it, and hopefully we can get this beginner clue. I think I'm also going to make the executive decision that I don't need these chaos runes, and I don't want them taking up an inventory slot, so I'm just going to get rid of those for the time being. And actually, I think I'm going to clear up this inventory space too. I think I'm going to go make all these into bronze arrows real quick. This should be the last of the arrow shafts I need to make. There we go, 750 of each. Now we're going to go buy some feathers. All right, how many's in a feather pack? It's probably 100. It's normally 100. Yeah, it's 100. All right, there's 750 of each. And this is where the XP really comes in. Level 8, level 9, and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and we are 2 XP away from level 15, but that's fine. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, so we made 750 bronze arrows and cleared up that inventory slot. We're gonna go back to hunting for Al-Kharid steps and beginner clues. So I don't know how long I do know I've been in Al-Kharid non-stop for the past 2 days, and I just now realized there's a leather boot spawn here. I don't know how I missed that, but there it is. These boots actually give a little bit of a defensive bonus. Not that I need it. I'm literally not losing any hit points to these guys. But, yeah, that's good to know. I guess I'll keep it for the time being until I don't need it anymore. Plus, it looks a little bit better than the white boots with the outfit. Oh god, this is the first beginner clue I've gotten in such a long time. Please be an Al-Kharid clue. No. God damn it. The grind still continues. The sheer amount of random events that I've been getting that are not XP lamps is kind of annoying me. How are we going to get level 5 hunter all from lamps if we haven't even gotten one yet in the past few days? We got another beginner clue scroll. Please, for the love of God, have it be an Al-Kharid step. It's not. It never is. We got another one already. That one didn't take long at all. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Thank God I actually got one. I keep on telling myself, I'll go to bed after I get one more beginner clue scroll drop. It's past 1 a.m. right now. I never stay up past 1 a.m. Please, for the love of God, be an Al-Kharid step. Oh my God. Well, you guys, looks like I'm going to bed a defeated man tonight, but you know, we'll pick up this grind in the morning. We'll get it eventually. These are the stats that we're finishing up with on day 2 of the Ultimate Ironman. Alright guys, I just woke up, did a farm run on the main account, and we're like 3 kills deep and we already got a beginner clue scroll. Is this one gonna be an Al-Kharid step? Oh my God, it is! Holy shit. I grinded, I killed like 1,500 men yesterday and couldn't get one, and like I got like 3 kills deep, I got one today. Holy shit, that's awesome. We got another beginner clue scroll. Is this gonna be the luckiest day in the world? It is not. What the fuck is this drop? Got a Renar weed and then a beginner and an easy clue scroll. You do the math. That's gotta be easily the rarest drop I've gotten on this account so far. Easy clue, cannot do it. Beginner clue, cannot do it. Still a cool drop though. Alright, so we just got another Guam leaf drop, and when we clean that, it brings us up to level 5 Herblore, which is really big because we can now clean Marintils, and we have a pretty big stack of those right now, and a couple right here. So I'm just gonna go clean these off real quick. So I can note herbs on the Tool Leprechaun, but I cannot unnote them. So what I'm gonna have to do is just going back and forth between the bank and the Tool Leprechaun to, you know, unnote and note them until I have all of these grimy Marintils turn into regular Marintils. So if I use these notes on the bank, boom, fills them up. There's level 6 Herblore. No way. No way. We got an easy Al-Kharid step now. What? That's crazy. Now we gotta juggle both of these, and then if we get another easy step, then we can go for completion on that one. That's super cool. I wasn't even expecting that. I don't even honestly know what I want from an easy clue scroll. I think they have better odds of dropping the Staff of Air than the beginner one does. Let's see which one we get first. I just hit level 40 defense, which is huge, because as I'm sure most of you know, now I can wear rune armor, and I can get a lot of rune armor from the Temperos reward caskets. So I think that was kind of all I was waiting on to start doing Temperos. After what seems like an eternity, I got another beginner clue scroll. Please, for the love of God, be an Al-Kharid step. It's not. It never is. Got another beginner clue here. Not an Al-Kharid step. One more beginner clue. Never, man. Jesus Christ. I got one more beginner clue right here. I haven't checked it yet, but regardless of what happens, this is going to be the last beginner clue that we get in this episode. I'm going to open it up, and if it's an Al-Kharid step, then that's awesome, and we're going to go try and solve the clue and hopefully get a casket. But if it's not, we're just going to end there and then start off the next video doing some Temperos. It all comes down to this. I'm going to use it on the cat for good luck. Come on, James, bless it. All right, what is it? Man, okay. I have killed thousands of men. Probably, I'm going to say, about 3,000 men just to get these 2 Al-Kharid steps right here. But you know, we made some solid progress on the account. That's the cool thing about farming for clues, is that it's a good way to disguise combat training. So I'm finishing up at level 38 combat, 20 attack, 32 strength, 40 defense, 34 hit points, buried every single bone I got, so I'm at 26 prayer. And then, yeah, also some more generic stats over here, and that's where we're going to finish off for this episode. Part of the fun of playing on an area-restricted account is all of the time spent planning and theorizing how to overcome obstacles that come your way. Laying out a huge plan to accomplish a seemingly simple task makes it feel even more rewarding when you eventually complete your goals. But sometimes it doesn't always go as planned. If you watched the last episode, you know I set out on a huge clue grind right at the beginning of the account. This is because I need to get 20 construction to relocate my house to Polnivniche, and the only way to train construction is to have 40 magic to teleport to my house. And the only way to get air runes in the desert before unlocking the rune shop is to get them from clue scrolls. So we killed thousands of men, hoping to get more than one clue scroll, both with Al-Kharid steps on them. Then we would have a small chance of getting a reward casket with an even smaller chance of that giving us air runes or a Staff of Air, and all this was done because teleporting to my house is the only way to train construction in the desert. Or is it? Temperos was released into Old School RuneScape on March 24th, 2021, and with this release it brought a ton of huge changes to the desert. There's now a stable method of acquiring planks, both regular and oak, in noted form,
as well as noted raw fish, rune armor, gems, and so much more. It also has a brand new construction training method that I overlooked in the second episode. Several times during the Temperos fight, there are giant waves that flood the beach, and you have to tie yourself to a mast or totem pole with a rope in order to not get washed away. And every time the wave attack happens, there's a chance that it can damage one or several masts or totem poles, which the players can repair and gain construction experience equal to 4 times their construction level. This means that since I bought a house before I entered the desert, I can gain construction experience from repairing these masts and train construction all the way to level 20 without having to train magic at all. This is a very important turn of events for the account, because it means I no longer have to grind clue scrolls, at least for the time being. And all that time spent grinding out clues in the second episode were not for nothing, because I still got some good combat XP from that episode, and I can now equip the rune armor that I get from the Temperos reward caskets. This really does change everything. So let's see where this takes us. Yes, let's go. I didn't even record the intro to this video yet, but we're starting off with our first genie lamp. I think that's a good sign. This is going to be a good episode. This is going into Hunter. The first Hunter experience on the account. Once we hit level 5, we'll be able to officially start training it. Yeah, that kind of threw me. I was about to film the intro, but I got a genie instead. So welcome back to the Desert Locked Ultimate Ironman. In the last episode, we kind of just laid out the groundworks for what we're going to be doing in the next few episodes. We hunted for clue scrolls to look for a staff of air so that we could train magic, so that we could train construction. It was a whole thing, but I'm sure I said in the intro to the video, there is another way we can train construction, and that is through Temperos. So we're just going to get right into Temperos because we have all the levels and everything we need for it. So what I'm going to do is clear up some inventory space, because I'm an Ultimate Ironman, which means I can't bank. So I have to keep everything that's necessary on my person, and Temperos is one of those mini games where you need quite a bit of inventory space, so every single space counts. I'm going to be selling all of this stuff right here. I'm going to be selling all my armor, because hopefully we'll get some rune armor back from Temperos. Selling the boots, because they don't matter. Shield, because I'll be getting hopefully a rune shield from Temperos. Selling the short bow because there's a spawn in the desert. Selling the knife because I can buy one back from the shanties. Selling the guam leaf because I don't really care about the 4-dose strength potion anymore. And selling the axe because I could just go smith another one whenever I want. So we have quite a few inventory spaces open now, and let's just get into Temperos, I guess. So we just take our good friend the boat, or I guess the ferry, put some respect on its name, take it over to the ruins of whatever it's called. I guess we need to get all the tools required for Temperos. So we need to get a harpoon, we need to get a hammer, a rope, and a bucket. And you know what? You can get the rest of it inside the boat, so I'm just going to go do that. All right, time for the first Temperos on the account of so many. Oh my god. Where's James? Where's James? There you are. Are you ready? Let's just see how this goes. And, we'll adjust accordingly. Gotta grab this and this. Alright, so that's the end of Temperos kill count number 1. Name of the video, your Temperos kill count is 1. Well, anyway, so we got 2 reward permits from that, and I think you can store up to 8,000 reward permits if I recall. So I think we're literally just going to go all the way up until we have level 20 construction, and then we're just going to cash all of our reward permits out at once and see what kind of loot we get from that. Should be a shit ton of loot, so should be fun. Let's get right back into it. Just hit level 40 fishing, doing Temperos. I can now catch lobsters. That's pretty damn cool. Oh, wave coming in. We're at about 5 KC right now. I also just hit level 40 cooking, so now I can cook said lobsters. And right there is level 2 construction. We've made our way up a construction level just off of these totem poles, and we got, 18 more levels to go. But it gets faster every time just because now we'll be getting 8 XP every single time. All right, you guys, so I've done quite a few Temperos kills at the moment, and I've noticed one thing that's been kind of irritating me, and that is I've been running out of run energy a lot. That's partly due to the fact that I'm an Ultimate Ironman and I have a lot of, weight on my person, and it slows me down, but also I just have 1 agility. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take the time to go do the Tourist Trap quest, because they actually have an XP reward that you can put into agility that'll bring you straight up to 20 agility, and then I can train from there on the rooftop course in Al Kharid. I think we're just going to go, try and do the Tourist Trap quest, so we'll see how we do.
for the tourist trap quest, I'm pretty sure everything can be bought from Shanty's store. I'm actually just gonna drop these real quick because we're not gonna need them, and that's inventory space being taken up. So we need 1, 2, 3 bronze bars. Oh, fuck. I guess I misclicked. But you know what? That's actually probably good because I just realized that I need to fight the mercenary captain in this quest, and I sold all my armor in the beginning of this video. So I guess let's go make a few armor upgrades. Alright, let's see what we can make with the bars that we have. I will take a chain body. No, don't make a second one. Don't make a second. Holy shit, that was close. Set that to 1. I will make a kite shield. And I have 1 bar left, so I guess I'll make a medium helm. And then I'll go buy a pair of plate legs from the store. And yeah, that should be fine. Looks like the plate skirts are the same price as the plate legs, but these weigh less, so I'm just going to snag one of these since I'll eventually drop it. I guess I'll just do steel. Why not? Oh, baby, look at those legs. So I picked up everything I need for the quest from Shanty, and now we're going to go grab some food. And our highest healing food right now is lobsters. So we're going to go buy a lobster cage, and then, you know, fish for some until we have enough, and then we're going to start the quest. You guys want to know how stupid I am? I actually just now realized, as I was all gearing up for the tourist trap and everything, that I don't have one of the requirements for it. If you actually, you know, take the time to open up the page, you'll see I need 20 smithing, and I'm only at level 12 right now. So we're going to do some smithing real quick. I'm pretty much going to be doing the exact same method as in the last video, where I, you know, go from this mine to the furnace to the anvil, and I just make them all like that, except the one difference I'm going to do is, after I smith them all, I'll have another few inventory spaces open, and I'm just going to go to the Shanty store and buy the remaining bronze bars to fill up my inventory so that I can have as much XP as possible. So this is what I mean. Since it takes 1 tin and 1 copper to make a bronze bar, by the time we smelt this whole inventory here of the ores, we still have all these blank spaces that are made. And then we go over to Shanty and we buy whatever bars we need from him, and then boom, full inventory of bronze bars and much more smithing XP. Thanks to whoever, you know, shouted that out in the comments of the first video. And I think I'm still going to stick to doing the arrow tips just because we have this big stack of arrow shafts here, and then we can just go back to Shanty's store and buy feathers to make these into arrows. And also, I got a few people saying that I should just make bronze knives instead of bronze arrows, and I thought about that, and the reason I decided not to is because I do need a higher fletching level. There's 13 smithing. I do need a higher fletching level, and you can't really get that through making the knives, so I'm sticking to the arrows. I want to eventually be able to make like a magic short bow with the magic trees up in Mage Training Arena, and higher tier arrows for Cowfight Queen, so yeah, sticking to the arrows. Oh baby, we got another blue boy right here. Thank you so much. This is the second genie lamp on the account. This is going straight into Hunter, making some good progress. Well guys, I'm very glad that I'm not hunting for clues anymore because I just fucked up. I accidentally talked to Shanty when I had my clue step in my bag, and my clue scroll I had was to talk to Shanty in the past, so he just gave me the next clue. So there's a pretty big chance I'm gonna have to drop this beginner clue, and if I need one again, I'm gonna have to grind out the kills to get another one. Yeah, that's not a desert step. Well, I fucked that up. We're gonna have to drop it. But you know what? It's fine because technically we're not really going for a clue scrolls at the moment. So I guess it kind of forced me to clear up an inventory space, which I don't mind. Luckily, we have another plan. Okay, so this helmet right here should be level 20 smithing. That's awesome. That is all we need to do the tourist trap quest. Plus, it's a little bit of an armor upgrade. About halfway through that grind, I got bored of mining and decided just to do what pretty much every single person in the comments section was yelling at me to do, which is just straight up buy the bars from Shanty's shop and then sell them for a profit. You know, it's a self-sustaining method, but I was trying to get early mining levels, guys. Please don't yell at me, okay? But either way, I did it, and now we're level 20 smithing. All right, so where were we? I think I was about to go get some food for the fight in the quest, so I'm gonna go do that. All right, so I fished and caught a bunch of lobsters, and then I had the evil twin random event, and I got 2 diamonds from that. So I'm gonna sell those real quick, and then we'll head down to Shanty's Pass to gear up for the quest. So I'm gonna need to buy a full desert set, which means I gotta buy these. I'm already wearing the boots. I'm gonna need a couple bronze bars. Look, there's one right there. I'm gonna need 50 feathers. And it looks like I just got a world hop, buy 1 more bronze bar, and then we'll be all set. Oh, I probably need water skins too. All right, I had to drop a couple lobsters, unfortunately, but I think that we should still be fine. So, are you ready, James? We got this. This is going to be our first real dangerous trip into the desert because we got to fight the mercenary captain for this quest. So, let's go. Oh god, a shanty pass. I'm going to use that trick where you go through, drop something, go back, pick up your food, buy another pass, and then boom, we got full food. Already cheating the system. The quest has been started, and now we just got to avoid these damn camels. So I'm at the part of the quest where I have to fight the mercenary captain. I'm just going to try and like tank him and just beat him, yeah. I should have enough food to do it, so we'll find out. And he is dead. That took quite a long time, actually. Bury his bones, show some respect. We now have his key to get into the gate, but I'm gonna go try and fill up my water skins real quick. And I have to take everything off besides my desert robes before I go in here. Didn't have enough inventory space, so I'm dropping the bronze plate body. Not too much of a loss, but we're going in. And it looks like James is welcome here. So I have gotten the technical plans from the bandit camp or whatever it's called, the mining camp, and now, huge upgrade to the account, I'm about to learn how to smith darts. A lot of people said, you need to make throwing knives, not arrows, and I was like, but I want fletching XP. I can't get that with knives, but now darts are pretty much better than knives, and I also get fletching XP, so this is the best of both worlds. And there we go, we can now make bronze darts. Or we can make darts in general, I guess. So we're at the part where we rescue Anna from this, this hellhole, this slave life. And the funny thing about this quest is I'm pretty sure you don't even need to talk to her and tell her what's going on. I think you can just, you just shove her in a barrel. She doesn't even know what's happening. She doesn't know you're trying to save her at all. And we finish up the tourist trap quest right here. We're getting our experience rewards. We're definitely going to put one into agility. That brings us straight up to level 20, which is amazing because now we can train agility on the Al-Kharid course. That is huge for the account. And I'm also going to put one into smithing just because that one's a little bit harder to train. So that brings us up to 26. Beautiful. Now I think we're going to get back to Temperos. And we got another genie lamp. Going to put that straight into Hunter. Okay, we just hit level 4 construction entirely off of repairing totem poles. This is going pretty fast, actually. And this game just finished. That was 58 kill count. I also just got, wherever it is, there's level 10 construction, all from totem poles. Well, 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 what do we have here? Is this our first classroom random event in the game? It sure is, and we got this juicy book of knowledge that we're going to put into Hunter, and that gives us some solid XP. Here's level 12 construction, starting to go a lot faster. Here's a pretty big achievement. We just hit level 60 fishing, just from Temperos. We started off at level 35 and we're already at level 60. And we also hit 14 construction about a minute ago, so that's cool too. Big shout out to D-Rated for getting the pet. Not the first one I've seen since I've started this grind, but you know what? Still, GZ. That'll be me one day. Oh, a repair. What are we at now? Well, that's immaculate timing. 16 construction. Here's level 61 fishing. That's pretty big because if we get a dragon harpoon from the Temperos reward pool, whatever it is, then we can use the dragon harpoon. And that'll be pretty sweet. And there it is. The grind has come to an end. We have hit level 20 construction just from Temperos, just from repairing the totem poles. This is pretty big because now we can officially relocate our house to Polnivnich and start training construction just by walking inside of the house portal. So this is a pretty big accomplishment, actually. Like in the last episode, this was not in the foreseeable future because we had to do the clue scroll grind, so I'm so glad that I found a way to do this in a different way. That's what this game mode is about. I don't think anybody comes to Temperos to train construction starting from level 1, so yeah, this was a pretty big discovery and I'm glad that we got to do it this way. And there we go, just finished up that last game that we were in. So we did a total of 96 games to get us from level 1 to 20 construction. If we look at this thing, it'll show us all our statistics. My best points is 3,800. I haven't claimed any of the rewards yet, so you can see that I haven't claimed any of them. And yeah, 96. That's how long it took us to get from 1 to 20. Now that we have level 20 construction, we only have a few things left to do before we can leave the desert for the last time. We need to train our woodcutting up to level 30 to cut willow logs, and we need to complete the feud quest. We're going to do the quest first, but there's a few things we need to do before we can start the quest.
First of all, there are 2 high-level enemies that you have to fight during the feud quest, but luckily, both can be safe-spotted and are weak to ranged attacks. So, we had to train our range before we could start the quest. Also, there's a part of the quest where you need to pick up camel dung and put it in a bucket, and since our character is apparently too classy to do this barehanded, we need to get a pair of gloves. The problem with this is that we can't get regular leather gloves in the desert unless we telegraph cowhides from across the fence, but we don't have the magic level to do so. So the option we're left with is waiting for a random event to give us a pair of gloves. There are 3 types of gloves you can get from random events that actually count as gloves for the purpose of this quest. So the plan is to kill men around Al Kharid to train our range level and wait for either a beekeeper, a mime, or a zombie random event to give us a pair of gloves from their costume set. So I set out killing men, just hoping for the best. We actually got a zombie random event pretty quick into the grind, but it only gave us the zombie dance emote, which is pretty cool, but not what we're going for. So I kept going. Eventually I did get another zombie random event, and I was so excited that I clicked straight away, forgetting that I left my easy clue with an Al Kharid step on the ground, and I hurried to get it done as fast as I could, but when I finished the minigame, I got good and bad news. The clue scroll was gone, but I got the gloves. I didn't mind losing the clue because, like the beginner clue I lost earlier, it just forces me to clear up some inventory space, so I didn't mind it. After getting the gloves, I continued training my range all the way up to level 33 because I did some calculations, and at level 33 it increases your max hit from 4 to 5 with my setup. Now that my range level was ready for the quest and I had my gloves, there was only one more thing I needed before I started the quest. One of the enemies in the quest, the bandit champion, drops an adamant scimitar upon death, which is my best in slot weapon for a long time on the account. I decided to kill all Kharid warriors and train my attack up to level 30 before I started the quest to make sure that I can use it as soon as I get it, and sell my mithril scimitar to avoid having 2 scimitars taking up space in my bag. So I went out and got 30 attack, and then trained my woodcutting up to 30 so I didn't have to do it later, and now I have everything I need to start the feud quest. Alright, so we just started the feud quest, and now we have to buy everything that we need for the quest. So we have the pair of gloves, we have some coins, we need a Kandarin headpiece, a Kharidian headpiece and a fake beard, and a bucket, and I guess that's it. And as much as I love irritating you guys with my lack of knowledge about inventory management, I'm actually going to drop a few things. Obviously we don't need the axe. He gave us a knife, so I don't know if we need that or not. Now I'm going to drop the knife because I don't think we need it for the quest. I think we can use these on each other. We got this fabulous piece of headgear. And this one was a pretty touchy subject apparently for a lot of people. Some of you guys just really let me know that I made the wrong choice picking this pestle and mortar. So when I made the first episode, I did not realize that there was a guy in Narda named Wesley, and he actually functions as a pestle and mortar, and you can pay him 50 coins to crush things, which changes everything because I don't actually need the pestle and mortar anymore. The other reason I had it was to do Sorceress's Garden, but you only need the pestle and mortar for Sorceress's Garden if you plan on getting thieving experience, which there's plenty of other methods of getting thieving experience in the desert that are much better than that. So there really is no point to keep this anymore. So it's gonna make a lot of people happy. I'm dropping the pestle and mortar. It's official. If I need stuff crushed, I'm gonna have to go to Narda to do it. Another inventory space has been cleared. Okay, so we should be in the part of the quest where I have to do the first fight. So just gonna skip past all this dialogue, and then this guy tries to kill me. Oh geez, how am I ever gonna do this? There it is, there's a safe spot. The one on the wiki did not do very good for me, but here's a different one. And there he goes. He's dead. And he drops a willow blackjack. And now we're gonna start the second fight. And at long last, I have safe spotted him. I'm glad I brought all this food, or I surely would have died. And there we go, down he goes. And he drops an adamant scimitar, which is absolutely massive for the account. I'm super excited for this. That's why we got the attack level, so we could just equip it straight away. God damn, that looks good. Plus 8 melee strength and plus 8 slash attack bonus over the mithril scimitar. This is really good. That should be the end of the quest. I just gotta go turn it in. So let's go take care of that. And it looks like I can sell this mithril scimitar for 572 coins to this store, so I think I'm gonna do that. And here we go, turning the quest in right meow. God, this guy talks a lot. There it is. 15,000 thieving experience. That's pretty nice. That brings us up to 37. Can we do anything with level 37? I don't think so. That's big, because that means, according to our checklist in the last episode, we have everything that we need in order to leave the desert and make our final exception for the account. We have 20 construction,
to relocate our house. We have 30 wood cutting to cut down a willow tree, and we have the feud done so that we can start the Rogue Trader minigame and get the rune shop unlocked. And all this will be done in the next episode. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to end it right there. We will wrap up this excellent tale in the next episode. We're going to do the exceptions. We're going to do some quests. We're going to unlock Sophanum. We're going to do the Temperos unlooting. We might train some construction. I don't know. We'll see where it takes us, but that will all be done in the next episode. So either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Well, Dune, you fought hard, learned some new skills, and got some pretty nice loot for someone who's never left this barren wasteland. You knew this day would come for a long time, and today's finally the day. Let's see what the outside world has to offer. Welcome, everybody. We are in the 4th episode of Deserted, the Desert Lock Ultimate Ironman series that you've all come to know and love. In the last episode, we got quite a few things done. We achieved level 20 construction, level 30 woodcutting, and completed the feud quest, which were all the things that we needed in order to do our final exceptions and leave the desert. So that's the first thing we're going to be taking care of in this episode. But before we do that, we need to actually get everything sorted before we can actually leave. The first thing of which is we need to talk to Ali Morrisane and actually start the Rogue Trader mini quest so that we don't, leave, head to Varrock, talk to the guy, and he has no idea what we're talking about. Cool, so that should be started. The next thing we need to do is some thieving, and this is because we need 15,000 GP in order to relocate our house to Polnivnich and also to redecorate it, because I just think that would be, aesthetically better for the series. So we have just about 10,000 gold, and we're just going to do some pickpocketing until we get 15,000. I should probably get some food first. I think that should be enough GP. Open this up. We have about 15,000 and a half Gillinor pieces, and we also got to level 41 thieving through that grind. So we have enough money to relocate and redecorate our house to the desert. So I really can't think of anything else that we need besides an axe to cut the willow logs before we can make our final exceptions on the account. So I guess let's go get an axe. All right, so this is it. I have to make sure that I have everything done because I don't want to leave more than once. I have the axe to cut down the willow log. I have the 15K to buy and relocate, or to relocate and redecorate my house. I have the Rogue Trader minigame started. I think that that's everything I need, so I guess I'll go leave the desert now. This feels so wrong, but it has to be done because this is all stuff that we need in order to progress the account and unlock more content in the desert. So it all has to be done. Oh, Jesus Christ, here we go. Forgive me, everybody. There it is. One willow log has been obtained. And we've reached our second destination. We talked to the estate agent, and he can relocate our house to Polnivnich. Beautiful. And he can redecorate our house to whitewashed stone, which is the desert style. Beautiful. And then the last exception on the account, we need to talk to Aubrey and talk to him about the business proposal from Ali Morrisane to open up a rune shop in Al-Karib. And there we go. And I'm just making sure that everything went according to plan. Cool. So, we're done. We're all done with the exceptions, and now we're going to head back to the desert. And there we go. We're back in the desert. It's official. That felt so bad. That felt dirty. But you know what? It all needed to be done, and now it's all done. And you can see that I didn't do anything other than the things that I explicitly said that I was going to do. So we should be all good in your guys' eyes. Now let's go see what we just unlocked. So this locked chest right here, it just appeared on his stall after we came back from talking to Aubrey. Pretty much we have to unlock it by doing rune Sudoku in order to access his rune shop. So let's try our hand at some Sudoku. Oh, this doesn't look too bad. I could be wrong, but I think that's it. Oh, baby. Very nice. Look at that. Look at that. We can buy air runes. We can buy air runes. We can train magic. This is so amazing. 4 coins each. What a hell of a bargain. The only downside to his rune store is that we have to, you have to go through the dialogue in order to open his shop. He doesn't have just like a right-click option. But yeah, I can buy elemental runes whenever I want. And there's rune packs. Oh, this is so nice. This is so nice. And then when I want to buy the higher up runes, like I think nature runes, cosmic runes, I don't know, the other ones. I had to unlock the large one, so I guess we'll take care of that also. Yeah, so we have to solve this in order to open up the other types of runes. So I guess we'll give this a go too. Yeah, this looks about right. Let's try opening it and see if we got it. And it worked. Very nice. Now, look at all those runes we can buy. Oh my god, we got the full rune shop. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so I have to go buy either elemental runes or other runes. So I got to shop for them separately, but yeah. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, this is massive for the account. I'm very excited to start using these. There's actually a pretty useful spawn up here. If we go all the way down here next to the hill giants, there is actually a staff that spawns right here. So now we can auto cast spells. It's the little things, man. It's the little things. You ready for this? Wind Strike is on auto cast for the first time. We are trading magic, guys. Oh my god. There it is, level 2 magic. The level itself doesn't really mean anything, but you know, the message behind it can be felt throughout the ages. Perseverance, dedication, an ability to grow. I don't know, but yeah, still cool. All right, that's the first hill giant that we just killed with magic, and he actually dropped us some law runes. And these big bones, which is going to be our best prayer training method pretty much forever. So I think the thing that I'm going to do next is start the Icthorunzilla Helper quest. You don't really need to get that far into it in order to unlock Sophanum. So I'm just going to take care of that right now. Come on, James, don't be afraid. It's a whole city run by cats. What do you have to be afraid about? Here we go. This wanderer right here is the person who lets us start the quest. Okay, so this person needs us to bring them a full water skin and a tinderbox in order to tell us how to get into Sophanum. So we're going to go snag that and be right back. Sweet, we got everything we need. Got all the supplies for you. Look into your eyes. You know, that's never a good sign. And here we go. We can now enter these rocks right here. And we're in Sophanum. Oh my god, we did it. We've officially unlocked Sophanum. We can use that little tunnel to get into this city anytime that we want before we finish the quest, which is actually good because I'm not going to do the quest quite yet because I want to unlock the Protect from Magic Prey first because there's a few enemies in this quest that'll really damage you if you don't have that prayer. So we're going to go do a hill giant killing grind, but first of all, we're just going to take a look around the city and see what kind of stuff we can do. So obviously we have the Pyramid Plunder minigame right here, which is going to come in handy the higher thieving level we get. We'll probably end up going for a Pharaoh's Scepter one day, and also you just get some solid thieving experience from there. Okay, I guess this guy's not at his stall. Am I not allowed to buy things from the villagers until the quest is over? Because that would be kind of lame. This is pretty big. There is a spinning wheel here, so we can make bowstrings out of wool if we get that from random events or whatever, or implings. We can make rope, we can make crossbow strings, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, it looks like the shops are not available yet. I don't know if we had to wait until the quest is like all the way over in order to use the shops in this city, but definitely cannot use them right now. So I guess we have nothing to look at here. So we're going to go start training prayer. Well, this isn't good. I tried leaving the city and it says I cannot leave. So Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so I was kind of panicking a little bit because I was starting to think there was no way to leave this city because I can't teleport out because I don't have any teleports besides Lumbridge home, and obviously I can't do that. And like literally the very next thing to do in the quest like triggers a cutscene which is like dangerous, and I could die in it like pretty easily. And I'm not prepared to do that. I thought I'd just be able to walk around the city, kind of take all the sights in, and then come back whenever I want to. But yeah, I was kind of getting really nervous because I thought I'd have to go do something dangerous without being prepared for it. But after doing some research, I found out that you can actually climb through this hole right here on this wall, and it takes you out of the city. So I was very glad to find that because I was starting to panic. We have safely made it out of the desert once more. So the plan is going to be to train range on the hill giants and bury all their bones. And by the time we hit level 37 prayer, we should have a pretty good range level because I think that's the style of attack we're going to be using to fight the bosses in the Icthurin's Little Helper quest. I'm excited to never have to say that again. We're going to be using range attacks on them and praying for protect from mage, so we're going to just do that at hill giants. And I've killed a couple of these guys so far. They can be safe spotted, just like I did with the magic, so this should be pretty chill. I'm just going to be here for a little bit, and I'll report back when something cool happens. All right, and we have the first prayer level coming in of this grind here. There it is. We are at level 30. That's pretty cool to see. I have some stuff I need to sell and note, so we're going to go take the time to do that real quick. Something important to note also is there's a lot of regular bone spawns throughout this whole little area with the hill giants. So every time I find myself right next to one, I'll pick up a bone and bury one of those too. So I'm also getting some extra passive prayer experience just from that. Here's another prayer level coming in, 31. Ooh, I can now use the strength pray, very nice. And we just hit level 40 range. That's pretty cool. We can now use green d'hide. And right there is level 32. And we should have another prayer level coming in here. There it is, 33. Well, we started out with, I think a couple thousand bronze arrows in our quiver, and we are just about out, actually. Yeah, we're at 27 bronze arrows left, so I can only get a couple more kills with those. But I think what we're going to do is train our magic up, honestly. I think we're going to go through all these mind runes, and then after we go through the mind runes and the arrows, then we're just going to straight up use the scimitar and attack them that way. So I'm going to go buy some runes, and then we're going to go fight them. So I went out and I bought, should be exactly enough runes to go through all of my mind runes I have. So I'm just going to pick up this staff real quick, and I'm just going to finish up these 27 bronze arrows, and then I'll switch up to magic. And we're about to finish up the last of our runes right here. And last one. There we go. They're all gone. Now we're going to melee. We're switching it up to melee. And we made it all the way from level 7 magic all the way to level 21. And 21 is pretty cool because we unlocked low level alchemy. So now we can start alching stuff. So I think before we start this proper like melee grind, I'm going to go back to the store, sell some stuff, and then maybe grab a few, shitty pieces of bronze gear or something like that. And then we'll get started on it. Some food too, probably. Look at how good I look. Oh my god. So this is the melee setup right here. I went out, I got some leather boots. I bought a pair of steel plate legs. I made myself an iron chain body and an iron full helm. Cleared up the inventory a little bit. Got an inventory full of kebabs. And we are ready to rock. Yeah, we're just going to train strength on these guys. And we got a little random event here. Let's see what he has to offer. Make sure I pick up all my stuff. Am I even going to be able to talk to him? It's a maze. This is going to be good. We've reached the end of the maze with 75% reward left. Let's see what we get. Oh, dude, that's so good. 113 steel arrows. That goes to the collection very nicely. That's going to help out a lot during the quest we're about to do. All right, just got to bury these bones right here. Oh, that's not a bones. That's an iron dagger. Oh, I guess that wasn't it either. This clip is a mess. There we go, 34 prayer. Yes, let's go. We got a genie lamp. I'll put that into Herblore. I'll put that into Hunter as soon as I was going to say as soon as I'm not aggroed, but looks like that's right now. So there's some more Hunter XP. Very nice. I think 2 or 3 lamps away. Good morning, guys. It is a new day over here. In between the time where I was offline, though, I did realize something. This steel arrow stack that I was so proud of. Some of you might have already noticed this, but I just now noticed it. My bow is not powerful enough to fire these steel arrows, as you can see. Yeah, we're kind of out of luck there. I think I'm just going to sell these steel arrows, and then we'll make iron arrows when the time is right to start doing some more range. Okay, this one's going to hurt. I decided that as far as my supplies go down here, there's a few things I don't need. One, I don't need the short bow anymore because I have a new plan for what I'm going to do with range training since the steel arrows aren't working. And two, I need to get rid of my Renar weeds and my Marintels. It's going to hurt, but you know what? We can always just grind them out again if we need them. So let's sell those. All right, that looks a lot better. Just look at how clean that inventory is now, though. And one more prayer level coming in right here. Boom, 35, 2 more to go. All right, guys. Quick little update. I accidentally let my Easy Clue Scroll despawn. I think I went to go get more kebabs and I forgot to pick it up. So Easy Clue Scroll is gone. That's a rip, but again, it's not the end of the world. We're here for prayer XP, not for Clue Scrolls. Oh, baby, we got an Imp random event. Oh, God, I can't even use it right now. These guys are literally obsessed with me. Okay, that's going into Hunter. We are 1 Impling random event away from the level or 2 Genie Lamp randoms away from the level. It's starting to feel real. And hello to you, Prince Ali. Well, what do we have here? Looks like we just got a beginner clue scroll in Al Kharid. That's awesome. We're going to juggle that bad boy. Hope we don't let it despawn. And because I am the best YouTuber on the platform, we missed this level. But there it is. 37 prayer has been achieved. We can protect from magic. We have an overhead prayer. And that was the goal that we were going for in order to do the Icthrinzilla helper quest. So I guess we will... Well, I'm going to get my bearings real quick. I'm going to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. And then we're probably going to start doing that quest. All right, so a quick little recap of the prayer training grind. We hit level 37 prayer. We got up to 46 strength, 44 range, and 22 magic. So I think that the only thing that I really want to do before I go back into the quest is I want to do some magic training, and mainly I want to get the teleport to house spell unlocked, and that's because this is my only teleport spell that I have that'll actually take me to the desert since my house is in Palnavnich. So I think this is honestly pretty crucial, especially if we're going to be doing dangerous content like the quest we're about to do. I really want to be able to teleport out if shit gets real, so I think it'll be worth it to grind out the level 40 magic before we end up getting there. So I finished off the night last night pickpocketing these guys, and with one more, that should be level 45 thieving, which is huge because this marks the time where I can start, there it is, Bearded Bandit Thugs in Palnavnich. I can now start blackjacking, which is pretty big, and I guess I also unlocked the Autumn Garden whenever I decide to start doing that grind. But yeah, we can start blackjacking now, and we have accumulated this vast fortune of almost 21,000 coins, which we're about to go spend pretty much all on runes, and if we need any more money for level 40 magic, then we're just going to go start blackjacking. But for now, we're going to go buy a bunch of runes. And there you have it. That's how to spend all your money in 5 minutes. This is most certainly not going to be enough to get us all the way up to level 40. So we're definitely going to do some blackjacking after we go through all these. But for now, let's see what level we can get to. Okay, so we cast all the runes that we bought. We got all the way up to level 31, really close to level 32 magic. But yeah, we're going to consolidate the inventory real quick and then go try out some blackjacking and then make money to get the rest of the way to 40. So, an update with the blackjacking. I've made about 12k so far, but it took me like a couple hours, honestly. Like, this is going by so slowly just because I'm so fresh into being able to actually blackjack that I'm getting caught a lot. And since I'm doing this for money and not thieving XP, I think I'm kind of hindering my progress by doing these guys right now. So I'm just going to go finish off at Al Kharid Warriors just to buy the runes for this level. And then when we actually need to get like thieving XP, we'll stick to this. But for now, we're just going to go do something that is a little bit easier. Oh, baby, we got another blue boy right here. Thank you very much. You know the drill by now. This is going right into Hunter. One more lamp to go until level 2. This is getting exciting. So we have reclaimed our 20k cash stack that we're about to go blow all over again. Oh god, why did I say it like that? On runes, we just got a mystery box from the Quizmaster random event. Let's see what kind of loot lies inside. This could be a whole range of good options. Let's see what we get. A steel plate body. Oh my god. That is a huge upgrade over the iron chain body. Damn, look at this guy. I will take that for sure. 100%. And here it is. Oh my god, that is immaculate timing. There is level 40 magic. We can now teleport to house. It's honestly so big for the account because we can teleport away from dangerous situations, and also it's a teleport straight to Paul Nivneach, which is incredibly useful. Oh god, that's also really big too, because this means that we can put this book of knowledge into Hunter and bring us up to a beautiful level 2 Hunter. Oh my god. That feels so good. We got 2 huge levels out of the way in one clip. How good does that feel? Well, I'll tell you, pretty goddamn good. So we're gonna consolidate our inventory once again, and I know I keep on saying this, but there's only one more thing that I want to get done before we can officially tackle the Ithgrenzel helper quest. Alright, so I guess it's technically 2 things I need to do. First, I want to get rid of this inventory space of all these feathers. So I'm going to be turning all of these iron ores into iron darts. And then after I clear up the inventory space there, I'm going to work towards level 30 agility, because 1, that unlocks agility pyramid, and 2, I need a higher agility level because I don't want to fail the obstacles in the quest I'm about to do so many times, because there's agility obstacles. So yeah, I want to make sure I have a little bit of a good base level. But I'm not going to make you guys watch all this boring stuff for too long, so I'm just going to skip right to the end of each one probably. And this batch of darts right here is going to bring me up to level 31 smithing. And this is big because now I can make a steel axe. So whenever I decide to start cutting teak trees, I can make a steel axe instead of an iron axe and probably get a lot better XP that way. And I think that's what I'm going to call it for this little smithing grind, because I got plenty of darts and I went through enough feathers just to where I can justify selling the rest to the store. So we're going to move on to agility. And here it is, the absolutely iconic first lap of the account. It says I got a mark of grace, but it must be somewhere else because I don't know where it is. But there is level 30 agility. We can now officially do the agility pyramid. There it is. We just hit level 35 agility. That is the recommended level that the wiki says to do the Ithgrenzel helper quest. So we are officially done procrastinating. There's nothing else I can think of to do to start the Ithgrenzel helper quest. I was really hoping that we could have gotten anti-poison from this Marintel, but it's not looking like that's going to happen. So we're just going to go for it. Looks like it took us just under 100 laps to get from 20 to 35. So one of the items that we need for this quest is a bucket of sap. And the way we get that is by using a knife on a regular old tree. So this should give us, there it is, a bucket of sap. Okay. We should have everything we need to do the quest. And this quest, honestly, it's been scaring me a little bit, just because this is really one of the most dangerous things I have to do on the account, and probably the biggest chance I have at actually losing my cat, my dear friend, our dear friend, James. Because this quest is the only one that's really required to have a cat. Because if we die, we have to go from our spawn in Lumbridge to Gertrude to buy a new cat, and it would just feel really inauthentic, and I feel like you guys would be mad at me, so we really don't want to die here. That's why we got 40 magic to get the teleport to house spell. We're going to buy a pass, and then head over to Sophanum. Alright, so I'm going to pick up James throughout this one, just to keep him safe in here. And, yeah, I'm not nervous about the boss fights on this quest. I'm more nervous about having to run past, like, the level 96 mummies and whatever. But we have a lot of food. We also don't have an anti-poison, which would have come in clutch right now. I thought you'd be able to buy an anti-poison from one of the shopkeepers over here, but I didn't realize that shops don't open until after the contact quest. So that's going to put a damper on things. But we're going to send it. Let's go for it. All right, looks like I was kind of hyping them up. They kind of hit like little bitches, you know? They're not really... oh, God. Right as I start talking shit. That's always how it goes, man. So we're going to sit here and let our run energy replenish a little bit so we can have a better odd of jumping over this pit. Sweet, so we let our run energy restore all the way. We freed up both of our hands, and hopefully that means we should be able to jump over this pit with no problem. Let's find out, though. Yeah, that's what I like to see. We survived the first flashback, everybody. That's pretty big. Now we're going to drop the cat and talk to the Sphinx. This part is very dangerous for my cat. So, the Sphinx is about to ask me a riddle. And if I get it wrong, then my cat just fucking dies, I guess, and I have to go get a new one. And obviously we don't want our boy James to, you know, spontaneously combust or however the Sphinx decides to get rid of him. But I know the answer is 9, so if this kills my cat, then it's the Wiki's fault, not mine. Am I sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Very nice, very nice. So this is where we're going to fight our first boss. We have to find the jar that is shaped like an ape because we have the ape thing in here. It looks like it's this one. So I'm going to try and take this, and then I'm going to have to fight this guy. And he uses magic attacks, and I can safe spot him on this table. So I'm going to get my range gear ready. Pop Protect from magic on, and let's do this. And there we go. The ape man is no longer. All right, so I talked to the priest, and he told me that essentially I got to do some chores for him. And this is where the willow logs come into play. We're going to talk to a carpenter in town, and he's going to turn these willow logs into some kind of unholy symbol, I believe. While the carpenter is making that unholy symbol for me, I can buy a piece of linen from this guy. And then I need to get some salt, which I can get from taking some of this salty water here. And then, boom, all these mirrors evaporate the water out, and we're left with some good, old-fashioned, there it is, salt. I think that's everything we need to give to the embalmer, and then we should be ready to get this show on the road. Now it's time for the final boss fight on this quest. If we can finish this, then we are in the clear. And honestly, this one should be even easier than the first one. And there it is. Final boss dead. Drops me an attack potion. That's kind of cool. And yeah, let's turn this quest in. Icthlorin, god of the dead. We finally meet face to face. I have but one question to ask of you. Why is your name so hard to pronounce? Outside of the pyramid, ready to talk to the high priest. After what I'm assuming will be a lot of dialogue. There it is. Icthlorin's little helper is complete. This is huge. These levels, they don't matter. They don't matter. The only real prize is this. Because now we can finally talk to James and see what he has to say. James, how are you doing? If you don't stop talking to me, I'll never get my slouching time for the day done. True wisdom. Absolute wisdom. So this quest did unlock the city of Sophanim, but I didn't realize until I was already halfway through with this quest that the shops and everything don't open until Contact is completed. So it looks like our next big goal is going to be Contact. And technically we already have all the requirements for it. We just need to get our combat levels higher to fight the boss at the end. So we'll be doing that in the meantime. But there's only one thing left to do in this episode, and that is something that you all were probably assuming I'd do last episode, and that is to loot Temperos. Here we go. We're going to make some room for this stuff. I'm going to drop these runes right here. I guess I'll put this stuff down here. We're still going to hold on to the Marintel. I guess we didn't end up needing the anti-poison for Icthlorin's little helper, but we are going to need it for the Contact quest, so I'm going to keep it there until we get an anti-poison. We're going to have a lot of inventory space here to loot the reward pool, and we'll just see what we get. We'll talk about how we're going to deal with all the supplies after we're done looting it all. So, get ready for a reward montage. Okay, let's do this. Spirit Flakes, technically the first unique, I suppose. Soaked pages, awesome. 180 rewards left to go. Tackle box. Oh, dude, we got the tackle box. Oh, man. that's really good, but also kind of inconvenient unless we get the dragon harpoon, honestly. That's still really cool, though, because we are going for collection log, technically. Bro, what? I was AFK for too long. And the very dramatic conclusion of the final final 10 or so rewards. Will we get a pet or a dragon harpoon is the question. That's all 220 something rewards. Honestly, not too bad, I think. We got the tackle box. We got a couple of soaked pages. We got 10 caskets. That's really good. I'm dying to open these caskets, but like the actual good at inventory management UIM that's deep inside of me is telling me that I should wait to open these up until after I, clear out a few inventory spaces. So we're gonna open these caskets in the next episode when we start dealing with all of this stuff we just got. But yeah, some solid gains were made in this episode. We kept James alive all the way through the Icthrenzel helper quest. We made our exceptions on the account. We can train magic. We can now teleport to our house, which is now in Paul Nivnich. I don't know, made some good combat gains, prayer gains, range, thieving. It's just, we're just making this account into a beast, slowly but surely. Well, Dune, you've traversed the scorching heat and deadly sandstorms of the Caridian Desert, and it feels pretty good to be back home in Paul Nivnich. I can't wait to get inside, put my feet up and relax, maybe enjoy a beer or two. Well, better head inside now. Oh yeah, that's right. I haven't built a single thing inside my house yet. I guess I can get started building some stuff in here. I mean, after all, I did get all those construction supplies from fighting that giant water monster. Hello everybody, and welcome back to episode 5 of the Desert Locked Ultimate Ironman account. In the last episode, we did some pretty cool things. We finished Icthren's little helper quest, we looted Temperos, we made our final exceptions on the account so that we can train magic, have access to the rune shop there, moved our house to the desert, all kinds of good stuff like that. Don't mind him. This is just my boy, he just wanted to be in the video. Yeah, so we're gonna start this episode off with fixing up our inventory. Right now it's full of raw fish and other kinds of stuff that we got from Temperos in the last episode. So yeah, we're just gonna start taking care of this stuff. We're gonna cook all of this fish except for the swordfish. We're just gonna leave this on us for the time being in case we need food for anything. So this, and this, we're just going to cook all that. And then we'll get into how we're going to take care of this stuff later. But for now, that's our goal. And the way we're going to do this is we go over to the bank. We're going to unnote it right there. Head on over, cook those fish, and then let nature take its course. Cook it real good. Let's see, I guess I could put this on, clear up some inventory space. I'll probably sell these soaked pages to clear up the inventory space too. So I tried out a few methods of how I'm going to deal with all the cooked fish. If I want to go to the general store to sell all of them, it's going to be quite the walk for like 6-7 fish at a time. I tried like fighting the scorpions to see how much they damage me, to see if I can just eat the food and train combat right next to the cooking pot, but they're not really damaging me at all, so I'm probably not going to do this either. Unfortunately, it's looking like I'm probably just going to end up dropping them as I cook them. I think that's just how it's going to have to be. Let's see, so I'm going to sell these soaked pages. I also just remembered that I got this tackle box in the last episode, and I didn't really show you guys what's in it, so let's view this tackle box. So I'm keeping the feathers in here, spirit flakes, bait, small nets, and then just some fishing supplies. At first, I didn't really think this tackle box would be very useful unless I got a dragon harpoon, because if I get a dragon harpoon, that's going to be taking up an inventory space anyway, so I figured I might as well keep that in here with all this other stuff. But honestly, this is seeming pretty cool. I can have the feathers for not just fishing, but also for fletching. I can have the fishing nets, not just for fishing, but also for the net traps when I start catching orange salamanders. And I can store the spirit flakes in
series, you know, being the ones that get the edge on the map, that are the ones denying minions, pushing in constantly, and really forcing difficult decisions here from BLG, who is kind of more this bloodthirsty team. They are, I think, more that stereotypical LPL team where they are going to play the team fight incredibly well. Makes them a much more dynamic and difficult opponent.
And a lot of that comes down to how well they control vision. Like Kyle and Tarzan, the best support jungle duo in the LPL, arguably the best in the world, depending on who you talk to, are just so good at working as a team, at getting some deep vision in, clearing out the vision together as well. It never really feels like one of them is isolated from support.
Both objectives on the map right now, both the Herald and the Dragon. And with the map state as it is, both junglers pathing towards the bot side of the map. The continued fight over that mid-wave control as the control ward is now the battle. Kaya will push on off. And now, oh, a nice trade from Bin ahead of the Dragon contest. He doesn't have his TP available, does have the ultimate. Shanks has already rotated down. Knight is going to quickly go back to base, buy an upgrade, and has the TP ready to fight. Baseron with his ultimate is primed and ready to go.
I can teleport into the pit. Instead, he decides mid lane. Paranoia out. Tarzan gets the smite. Where are we going with the Paranoia? Immediately we jump on towards Flandre. The Beer's going to come out as well, but the Unstoppable Onslaught will block that CC. Flandre running for the hills. Bin trying to chase True Shot Barrage out. Equalizer onto Flandre, gets the slow base one. Flashes forward, as does Bin, and they will ballot the Scion towards this blue buff. AL might want more of a fight though. The Magnus Storm on 3, and in they go between worlds. They're sent. BLG find a massive fight.
Yeah, BLG there, big punish. As Hope was nowhere near the fight, I'm not sure why Tarzan decided to go for the re-engage. They could have just given up Flandre and played for the wave mid, which was exactly what Hope was trying to do. But his team goes for the re-engage. Hope is moving over, but never even gets close to the fight. And BLG coming up with a massive win there, bringing them back to within striking distance.
Potentially a fatal mistake by AL. I felt that BLG was going super deep just to get a single kill onto the Scion because there wasn't really much that they were going to convert off the back of it. But the moment that Tarzan said, you know what, I think we can win this fight, that's where things fell apart. The goal difference now really not that much. Hope still holding on to the difference between the two teams. The Herald's going to be started off. Tarzan's not in a position to contest. Shanks is too far away. His TP is unavailable. And so BLG will get themselves another objective as they pick up the Herald.
And just like that, BLG are very much back into this game. There's still a disparity between Hope and Elk, but we see Beishuan chasing here. It did seem deep onto the Scion.
Yeah, I mean, the heal will come through from Kyle to escort Flandre to safety. The Rumble ultimate kind of cutting off that support from Flandre. They get that initial pick, and at this point, AL thinks, actually, maybe we can turn this around.
But look at the minimap. Look at where your Lucian is. Your Lucian is on mid-wave right now as they're going for this re-engage. You don't really have enough damage there. Your top laner is already down. Shanks tries to get what he can done. But without the Lucian, who is the strongest member on the team, it's going to be a very difficult fight to take, and an ill-advised one to be sure.
Still 1,000 gold lead for anyone's legend. They are still scaling into this game as well. 2 items on the Lucian. Shanks has finished the Rod of Ages on his way towards his Archangels. They're looking to try and crack the first tier 1 of the game. Bin now surpassing Gala for the 7th most all-time international kills at 503. There's the dive in with the Paranoia, and Shanks has to walk over a flaming carpet. Can't escape. Bin will take the kill. Beishuan can look for a little bit more here. Hope not moving from the mid lane. Tarzan should be able to flag and drag his way to safety. Kyle might just be able to walk out.
Flandre just ulted topside, so they're scrapping up there as well.
Knight forced low by Flandre, but can just jump across the veil and get to safety.
Nocturne is so good at catching isolated targets, especially a Ryze that has no flash available. Just the moment that ulti is off cooldown. Oh, ulti comes through.
Glacial Fissure onto on. Magnet Storm coming out, but the shield from the Crashdown won't be enough to keep him alive. Teleport in as well by Bin as he tries to burn through Tarzan. The Flame Spitter doing a lot of work, but the Cataclysm combo is just too much. It's carnage for anyone's legend. A bloodbath as Hope claims the Quadra.
Hope reigns eternal for AL. A Quadra kill in the mid lane. Finally finds his moment there as BLG just go that hair too far. Bin TB's in. Kyle tags him with the Winter's Bite, and Hope punishes massively.
And if this is not quintessential AL versus BLG, I do not know if we'll get a better example of how these teams face off.
Really good punish from Kyle onto on as he's isolated in the mid lane. But when the TP comes through, BLG is saying, you know what, we do so much damage here, let's go for it. But the Braum passive, again, in conjunction with the Lucian, makes it so easy for Hope to tear them apart. Nice follow through from Tarzan, sets up for the Quadra for Hope.
And that EQ flash so clean from Tarzan because he goes through for the EQ, delays to get the first knockup, flashes then after the first knockup to get the next one on to Elk. Like, that is just picture perfect. This guy's mechanics are out of this world, and Hope, that culling just destroyed them. As soon as you see the Braum passive proc, he gets the stun, full culling to the face. No shot for Bin there.
And 2 minutes ago we were saying, oh, BLG are back in the game. It's only 1,000 gold between these two teams. The Dragons are even, and now a 3.5k lead for anyone's legend. All of that sitting on Hope.
I mean, you just look at, I keep going back to it, but look at the inventories for the AD carries. It is just so brutal. You're not even close to your second item, and the second item is a cheap one. Then you're looking over here, and it's just, that is tough. And that also means feats have gone over the way of AL, and they were able to grab towers off the back of that did claim the upgraded boots for them. So they are looking really strong at this point. You know, you have Shanks on his Archangels fully completed. Now he's going to be a lot harder to burst down as well. And this is kind of the part of the game where I was getting very concerned for BLG's comp, even if they were on more even keel.
So you highlighted the bad news for BLG. The good news is there's only one carry that has all the gold. So if they're able to catch Hope, there may still be hope for BLG. It ultimately will come down to Beishuan's target selection, and if the follow-up is there, forced to flash away early.
Cullen coming out as well. Beishuan should just be able to walk away from this one. Meanwhile, on the top side, the Realm Warp coming out from Shanks as they look to chase down Knight. He'll go between worlds, the weirding as well for the slow for the escape. BLG will walk away after taking that bot tier 1.
And nice play around vision there for Tarzan. Controlling the banana brush, so important when you are trying to approach this dragon. And Knight walks by, Tarzan just pushes him back. Knowing how strong he is in this game, he's on 2 fully completed items. He does not have to be afraid. Goes in, gets that chunks down. And yeah, you traded out the Realm Warp, but Knight's ultimate is much more important in the actual fight. So they're just going to continue to force.
Anyone's legend could look for the Archon. There's no Paranoia up. There's no Between Worlds. And they're going to start it up. Bin there. Does have the equalizer. Obviously, Atakan reducing your magic resist and your armor, the more damage you take from it. Knight has teleport. He's going back to base right now, looking for that second completed item. On stepping forward, has the flash, has the Magnet Storm. AL still on the Atakan right now as Flandre is on the front line, and Flandre is snuffed out. AL now trying to fight a 4v5. BLG can look for more. The smite comes out, it's secured. AL will walk away with the outcome, but will BLG allow them to escape? Hope the first target as BLG are looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, and that means killing off Hope. The heal will get him to safety, and BLG won't be able to find much more.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, still great there for AL. Yes, they do lose one, but Flandre buys so much time. He just kind of walks forward and creates that space with the zombie form. And as a result, his team does get the Otacon. They're trying to stop the bases, though. This is well done by BLG. They don't want to allow them to reset.
The calling out into the Cataclysm Magnustorm out by On, but now Knight's tanking up the towers, and that's not where he wants to be. AL pounces, BLG are greedy.
BLG once again in this game overstep. We've seen that aggression work wonders for them, but we've also seen them get punished. And once again, in an effort to interrupt AL's return to the base, they are punished once more. They'll even get a tower off the back of it. AL taking full control here in game 2.
I definitely understand the thought process from BLG, because I think they feel that they're falling out of this game, and they're saying, all right, we had Hope low, we got Summoners out. Let's not allow them to base. Let's not allow them to spend this gold. We need to punish now. But Tarzan, his ultimate was perfect, and Knight was trying to hold his spells for Hope, but Hope was just playing on the exact edge of his range, so he never actually allowed him to get in range. And, well, you can't just sit there and use no spells forever. The rest of the team is going to knock you down. So Knight gets isolated, does get knocked down here, and there is the Infinity Edge done now. Just as Ezreal gets 2 items, a full Infinity Edge is the advantage for Hope. Not bad.
Yeah, it's a big chunk of change that Hope is ahead right now. 3,000 gold, his lead, and 3.5k the lead for AL. Next objective, well, Baron's going to spawn in a minute. I don't know if AL will want to force the tempo that much by going for it, but they are on 2 dragons. You can see how far Hope is ahead of everyone else in the game. Basejuan having a good time as a jungler, but still struggling, about 2,000 behind where Hope currently sits.
This mid lane tower being alive also makes it really hard for Baishuan to even threaten a pick onto Hope, because ideally you want long lanes to play through, because Nocturne Ultimate has such a long range. The more space you have to try and leverage that, and the less safety that Hope will have, makes it easier to find that pick. But as long as he has that mid tower and Kyle is standing by his side, he feels extremely safe. So AL is playing with full confidence. They've got good vision coverage. They unlikely will force the Baron. It's very risky to do against an Aurora Rumble. You could just throw the entire game, but they don't necessarily need to overforce. They've got the dragon spawning in a minute and a half, and they know they're stronger, so I'm sure they'll look to try and fight in the near future.
And I mean, Ocean Soul for this front line that AL has, how are you ever killing the Scion at that point? How are you ever killing the Braum at that point? And I do think these next items coming through are going to be the difficulties that BLG are going to have to deal with. You can see the Verdant barrier is now in there for Shanks, and I do think we are going to get a defensive item as the 4th for Hope, whether it is, you know, a BT or a GA or something like that. Once those items come through, now all of a sudden, even if you get that perfect engage, maybe you have to kill them twice.
Just becomes so much trickier for BLG. Decimating Smash coming out, but no one's going to step into the path of Flandre's axe as he was looking to bring down some trees. Elka Knight trying to get a little bit of control over this mid lane wave. For BLG, there's always the question is, like, if AL are slightly mispositioned on the map, do you rush the Baron? Is that your way back into the game? Pull them into a fight, use the equalizer, use the paranoia, use your AoE to make it tricky for AL to really approach. On 2 levels down on Kyle on this Rel. Knight forced behind here as Tarzan jumps forward. Knight able to go across the veil and escape. On with the flash shadowing strike, but the dash away immediately from Hope as he continues to reign in this game. BLG look for the engage, but they just couldn't find it.
AL have Hope and BLG have none. They're going for the Baron here. They're trying to put the nail in the coffin.
And now BLG, perhaps this is the moment. You've got no equalizer. You have the Between Worlds from Knight. No paranoia as AL still stick on the Baron. Flandre on the front line taken down. The Baron jumped off by AL as they look for more of a fight. They'll kill off Baishuan, and now with the jungler dead, they'll turn their eyes back to the big purple worm.
Flandre gives up his life, but he keeps the 2 remaining members of BLG away from the pit, and AL get 2 of their own. The Baron is going to be secured. A desperate TP.
It's been trying to look for a flank position here. No equalizer for him. No smite as well. Obviously, he's just a Rumble, and now he's spotted. And the Rumble in the jungle doesn't survive for long. AL will gun him down.
AL get themselves another pick, gifted by Bin. and you can feel the desperation from BLG. That engage from On, the idea felt really good. On has so many fast, difficult to react to snap engages on this rail, but Hope reacts. Hope is locked in and on point, and the follow-up, the Rumble ultimate was there, but we didn't see the Nocturne ultimate, we didn't see the Aurora ultimate, and it's the fact that he was able to react so quickly, and he didn't even have to use a summoner spell to do it.
Exactly. The fact that he reacted that quickly also meant most of the equalizer just missed. It's answered by the lock, and it's answered by the heal from Gael. They didn't really get much done with that, and now it is Baron, his 6.6k gold lead. It is Ocean Soul point, and it is AL on the precipice of pushing us to a match point.
And getting towards those luxury items as well. The Hex Drinker on Hope, you talked about a bit of defense for him. It's just going to make it so much harder for BLG. They're looking with the Paranoia. Phase one waiting around the Wolf Camp, but On is caught down towards the bottom side, and On is suffocated out of the game. BLG thought mid lane was the prio, but AL had other ideas.
AL will continue their siege on the bot lane. They don't have much of a minion wave to play with. The Rumble ultimate and the Ezreal ultimate going to be used to clear out the wave. This will slow AL down, but it will not stop them.
Shanks is a Gatling gun of destruction right now. Being forced away with the overload. There's the Realm Warp to follow up. And Hope will kill his enemy man. It's hunting season, and Elk is on the menu. BLG lose 2 more, as now they have to defend. On back up, but AL are pushing in for the win.
And Hope is just destroying them this game. 13-1-3, legendary Lucian performance.
BLG will try and defend. Knight forced away. Kai out there with the Unbreakable, and still hitting onto Knight with the Winter's Bite. Decimating smash under the tower. BLG try as they might, they just can't withstand the storm that's anyone's legend. Now sitting on match points.
A beautiful game from Hope. From the double kill right at the start, only a single death to his name, with good positioning and great play. AL lead the series 2-0, and now all the pressure is on BLG.
And for them, they're wondering, is it just a continuation of the story that's been told twice already in the LPL playoffs? Is it 3-2, 3-1, now at MSI 3-0? Is it time for anyone's legend to take over the torch of representing the LPL here on the international stage?
It is looking that way, but if there's a moment to step up, it is right now. And BLG have some incredible players who are capable of turning things around in this series. But you're gonna need to see peak Bin, you're gonna need to see peak Knight.
We're going to hand it over to Shox, who's standing by with Tabe.
I am indeed. Tabe, spectacular performance so far. Are you happy with your guys, and what was the specific strategy to get this game win?
Of course, I'm happy because we won 2 games, right? But I want to thank of the draft, because I guess the Lucian Braum really countered to Nocturne and Aurora, Rabbit, yeah. Their serious engage were really countered by Braum. Yeah.
Overall, what do you think the biggest threat on BLG is? Of course, you also won in the LPL finals, but is there anything different that you're looking out for?
They're really familiar with their free lanes early game pressure, but I think if we can defend their early game pressure, we will win the game easily.
3-0?
If we want to 3-0, I have to work hard on the draft.
I'll let you go. I get the hint. Thank you, Tabe.
Thank you so much, Shox. Always amazing to hear from Tabe. And we have a special guest joining us at the desk, Candice, LPL host. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys. Enjoy me.
Oh, okay, so what did you think about this series so far? 2-0 for AL. Did you expect that?
Actually, I didn't expect that fast 2-0 for AL, but I think they might find some way to fight back for the BLG in the next maybe 3 series.
Hopefully they can bring it to a series. But Tabe, once again, master at drafting. He really is in BLG's head right now. The players are in their heads on the riff, but it comes from the drafting phase, I feel.
Yeah, and the things that really worked out for this draft, he already pointed it out.
Yeah.
The Lucian Braum, from that early play where they really underestimated the Braum in that bot lane 3v3, that set Hope on a path to success super early.
It's really twofold, because on one end, I think that AL is playing very nicely to the win condition, like that play that On tried to find a Hope in the mid lane, to me was one of the best examples. Tarzan's turn in the mid lane earlier on. All of that was great. I also think BLG's is
Alright, we're back.
very obvious traps.
I got a staff. I'm trying to level some magic here. I'm currently 4 magic. No bueno. Oh.
A very on type of gameplay and replay here, Emily.
Yeah, I think this is also the difference maker in AL versus BLG, I think, is the synergy between Tarzan and Kyle in a lot
1500.
I actually wanted to ask you, Candace,
What
about
the
these two working together on anyone's legend and what they've brought to the team as we kind of see them setting up for Hope to just pop off.
I think I should mention the Tarzan's interview before because he mentioned that we spent a lot of time and getting in the synergy and everyone putting so much effort and we know our role clearly. So that's why they put so much effort and they gain from that. And also we should like watch the documentary if after this game, the AL, the breaking ground, they put so much effort. They ran till the like morning every day.
Yeah, I mean, Tabe was after FPL finals talking about the discipline, the work, everything that this team had put to get in the position they're in today. It is match point, Chronicler. I want you to, show us your prediction because you were really confident in the 3-2 for BLG.
Yes. No, I need to get...
I kind of understand what they were onto right now.
Oh my gosh, she's screaming.
I'm still confident.
Are you?
No, but I gotta sell this, right? I'm no Raz. I'm not flip-flopping. As long as On can just chill a little bit, okay? We're getting deeper into Fearless, which I don't really see how that benefits BLG, but I believe in the magic. And you know what? I think AL, they're gonna have at least one game for fun, can snowball from there. They did it in the finals, they can do it again.
They can do it again, hopefully, and bring us a series. Candice, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure having you on the desk. Let's hope that BLG can turn this around and bring us a series here in Game 3.
Hey, what's up, Mikey? Got some MSI going on. Let's see. Still alive too in hardcore. Looking good. How you been? What's going on? Oh shit, I don't have a hammer. Boom. What else do I need here? I feel that I got an interview tomorrow. Shit. Ooh. Shit killing me, dog. Let me see. None of this gives me magic, I think. Pentakill. Ain't no way. Switch out my shield. What else we got here? Okay, I need red. Dude, I got a fish barrel. That should go crazy.
Alright guys, I just landed in China. Let's go.
Play the local way. Pay your way.
Have you
Magic pants. What a magic pants at?
Dominate the Rift with Opera GX. Bring League to your browser. Lock in with LOL Esports. Customize your setup with champion-inspired themes.
Lock in.
And unlock new designs inspired by Arcade. Only on the browser for Legends. Download Opera GX.
Alright, fuck it. We doing magic. Chaos, right? Is that what it is? I need mind runes. I got an air staff too, so I don't think I really. How much money do I have on? Oh shit. Take out 1,000. Spin a ban, quick ban, on some mind runes. Runes from the mind. Let's see. Where you at? Damn. God damn, that shit expensive. What? Nah, spell. Oh, runes. Need those. Bury his bitch ass. Hell yeah. Where's the best place to train this at first? I might head. Oh, rats. I know where. Edgeville Dungeon. Is there any safe spots down there? I need a safe spot.
Let me throw it down to the ground, make him turn around.
Shanks is a Gatling gun of destruction right now. Being forced away with the overload. There's the Realm Orb to follow up. And Hope will kill his enemy man. It's hunting season. And Elk is on the menu. BLG
Go blast some dwarfs.
as now they have to defend on backup. But AL are pushing in for the win.
Oh, fuck it. Let's just go start with cows, I guess.
Destroying them this game. 13-1-3. Legendary.
Head over to Lumbridge.
DLG will try and defend. Knight forced away. Kai out there with the Unbreakable and still hitting onto Knight with the Winter's Bite. Decimating smash under the tower. BLG Try as they might, they just can't withstand the storm that's anyone's legend. Now sitting on match points. And Tabe behind the scenes.
Short, concise, to the point.
Nicer. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Playing against this former team, very happy with how AL are doing right now, as I'm sure a lot of their fans are, because although game 1 was close, game 2 was not. Hope absolutely took over the match.
And I think that AL, I mean, there were naturally some question marks around them coming into the tournament. A bit of an unknown quantity. We heard Emily talking about on the desk where a lot of these players do kind of have a chip on their shoulder, and that
4. Holy shit, I'm blasting.
Different teams throughout their history.
What the
and I think
fuck?
coming to this tournament, they wanted to prove
Magic's
to
OP as
themselves and also prove
fuck.
to the world what they were capable of. First, they pushed Gen G to 5 games, and now I think putting a clear statement as by far and away the best LPL team would be quite the statement to make, heading towards a matchup against T1.
Exactly.
I've never seen it before.
Series will be so exciting. I mean, AL, I think maybe on paper people could potentially be favoring them, but T1 has so much history of being the LPL killers that would be incredibly exciting. We of course have to see though if BLG can turn things around here. It's reverse sweep or go home for BLG at this point. We need to have someone really step up, I think, and take over this series to get them some momentum early. It can be so hard when you're up against it in a series like this. If things don't go your way at the start of this next game, I could easily see it being a blowout.
You're really looking at Knight or a Bit. Those are the two players that so often stand up for BLG and really put their carry pants on. For AL, just keep doing what you're doing. They banned out the Pantheon, the Ambessa, Jace, Galio, and Shin taken away by BLG. I'm looking at the Varus, which has worked its way through drafts so far. Kalista as well, if you really want to mess things up with a pack one, pick one here. Last ban coming out from AL. Where are we going to go?
Looking at what we have available, like things like Skana maybe if you're worried about the jungle matchup. We've still got Annie, Ari available, Silas and Yone. Silas for Knight is always something you could be scared of. The Poppy going to be banned means that Vi goes to the top of the table in terms of early jungle rotations, but perhaps that's what AL want.
Yeah, I mean, it might be that they're trying to lay a trap, but with Poppy banned out, I feel like slam it down. Let's see the Ari for Knight here. Go for the Vi Ari combo. It is so powerful. Knight has been so well known for the champion for a long time. Is truly stellar on it, but it does look like they're considering it.
Yeah, so that was the idea. You leave the Vi open, then you can get the Varus to yourselves. We know how much AL value the pick, but BLG, they're not going to allow it to happen. Now I do wonder if AL will just take the Vi for themselves. They're going to insta-lock the Gwen and the Vi, so not only will they deny the Gwen away from Bin, a champion that he is very feared on, they're also going to lock in that Vi, and I wonder if Shanks will go for the Ari himself. This could be an opportunity for BLG to just blind the Annie to dissuade Shanks from going in that direction.
It is true. I mean, there is something that you can be said for that, but also, I mean, Syndra, I think, good answer into it. You know, Knight, very, very good on it.
As well.
Silas, Annie, I think there's a lot of options here up and available if Shanks were to just kind of slam that down. We'll have to see where BLG want to take it, but thus far I do feel like AL had a really good read on the priorities for BLG because, you know, I thought it was going to be a Vi going over, but the fact that they were actually able to predict it was going to be the Varus going over, they pre-banned the Poppy, they get the Vi, they're the ones that are going to be kind of on the front foot here. And Flandra on his Gwen, very, very comfortable on this pick. It is hard to punish. I do think it is a strong blind pick in the meta these days. It is one of those unique champions that both can be a massive side lane threat, but is also really strong in team fights if you can pilot that high level.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Fiora for Bin. We saw this all the way back when he was on Suning in the World Finals, got a pentakill. In that game too.
Oh my goodness.
And it's Sivir for Hope.
Fiora, I mean, so we're in a team fight meta, and that's often why whenever the topic of Fiora comes up, it's like, well, she's not necessarily the best team fighter. She's a duelist. She's someone who thrives in the side lane. She wants to split push. She wants to fight isolated away from everyone else. And into the Gwen matchup, it can be a great matchup. But in Bin's hands, I mean, he's famous for this pick.
He absolutely is. But the last time we saw it from Bin, 2023 MSI. So it has been a couple years since he has actually brought this out. And we have got to see if he can be that difference maker in a game like this. And I'm so curious to see, you know, is it going to be Ignite TP? Is he going to go hyper aggressive into this Gwen? Will it be the more conservative approach of the Flash Teleport?
I mean, when your back's against the wall, I feel like just having confidence in yourself to pick pick champions like this is a must. If you're going to go down, you may as well go down trying. And I love this pick. Victor going to be removed on the side of AL alongside the Alistair, the Casio, targeted towards Shanks. Looks like that mid pool is going to continue to be pinched. They want to make sure that that mobility is available on the side of BLG.
Yeah, very interesting to see. No Ari banned out yet. Of course, BLG still could ban it here if they are concerned about that Vi Ari combo.
This really feels like a BLG Silas to me. Knight is so proficient at the pick, removing some of those very difficult matchups in particular.
Knight not having lost a game on that Silas this split, 8-0 on the champion. Victor banned away, Karma, Cass removed by BLG. Annie, a likely lock here for Shanks in that mid lane.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense with the Victor ban here. You know, I do think Annie really struggles into champions that do outrange. And if your read is that Knight will want to go towards something like the Ahri, that it is that ultimate comfort, well, then you're kind of pre-counter picking it. But still, I think you can look towards champions like even Orianna that can kind of accomplish a similar thing, that can have that additional range to poke and prod away at the Annie to try to shove that Annie in and really make things difficult.
I like Renata into the amount of dives that AL have. When you've got Gwen and Vi threatening that Varus, trying to gain access onto the backline.
Hasn't won a game. Hasn't won a game at MSI, Renata.
She's alongside the
She's
Kalista.
alongside the Kalista most of the time. Not 100% sure if it's every game that she has played alongside the Kalista, but maybe pairing it up with a new AD carry could work. Akali currently the hover for Knight. I mean, talking about laying down a gauntlet, talking about fighting something you're comfortable on, and just trying to outhands your opponent. Twisted Fate. Now where BLG are looking, the most banned champion at this tournament.
But another pick that has struggled here, and I do think it can work. It is heavily based on the execution. If there were a time for it, alongside the Fiora, it would make sense. But he is having a laugh. He knows he's baiting everyone. And he's going to slam the Akali down into the face of the Annie here.
That does surprise me. That really does.
High skill cap champions is crazy.
It can be a good matchup, especially if you like come out of the laning phase even.
I guess I do have like
level
that
6 on a side lane,
game
you definitely
advantage.
have some
No,
kill threats onto the Annie, but
they're losing, right?
laning phase can
Yeah.
be rough. I personally would have preferred the Silas, but I guess into the Sivir, he was a little bit more cautious about the Blitzcrank being hovered, and it's going to be locked in.
Oh my goodness, what a game.
Blitzcrank and Fiora is a crazy pick, I'll be honest.
Fiora versus Blitzcrank, you know, in game 3, of course.
Match
Very
point,
standard
BLG down
stuff
3
here.
games. We need Fiora Akali. That is what we need.
That's a banger. I mean, if you're going to go out with a bang,
Exactly,
man.
we were
You know,
just saying this.
These are some of the champions, you know, I think Knight really can be a difference maker. Bin really can be a difference maker. They have so much agency, you know, as these champions to make individual outplays, and I think that is heavily what you are relying on. I also do honestly really like the Renata here into what we are seeing. It is relatively short range. It is obviously showcasing this dive. Sivir's not going to be worried about the hostile takeover because of that spell shield, but Annie, Vi, Gwen, Blitzcrank, all going to be kind of trying to pile in there, you know, catch out this Varus, and on the Renata is built to defend that dive. You know, yes, you have the Vi, you have the Annie ult, you're trying to one-shot someone, but if bailout comes through, if hostile takeover is there, if the fight gets turned around, it could really change things in a team fight.
I love seeing the smiles on the BLG faces. They're still filled with confidence. They still believe that they can turn this series around. A roster of experienced players at this point. Vaishran being the only new one to make his way onto the international stage. They have to believe in themselves. With champions like this, I mean, there isn't more evidence than that. We'll see if they can turn this series around. We're about to jump into game 3. AL, though, on the precipice of looking to dominate their brothers from the LPL.
And obviously a lot of focus will be on BLG's pick. And the Fiora for Bin, the Akali for Knight, played it 5 times this split, has only lost once. But then you go to the other side of the rift and you look at this Gwen for Flandre, 7-3 on it this split, 17-7 on it all time. The Sivir for Hope, a callback as well to when he was able to pick up his first ever championship, playing that Sivir and that Zeri. We're gonna hear from I Will Dominate, who people have been watching for 10 years apparently. Shocks, take it away.
It's true, Dom. You have fans here that have been watching you for 10 years.
Yes, I'm really old, Chucks. I am really old, so.
That's not what I meant. Is this Fiora pick making you older?
No, I think it's going to be making me younger. It's saving us time. We might be out of here with a 3-0.
Someone told me you're a BLG Andy, though.
Yeah? Well, I I've been a BLG Andy, but the thing about me is, like, sometimes I have to betray, like, my friends. Same way that you just did, where, you know, you went on the broadcast, you said, oh, no one's a fan of Dom in the whole arena. So, you know.
You heard that?
No, I didn't. The hearing is going with the age as well, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do you a solid. Medic and I jumped on Cadrill's stream and we spilled coffee all over his setup.
Yeah, I heard you do that, and then you looked over to me and you said, oops, and then you just knocked it on the floor. So I appreciate it. It didn't ruin the entire setup, but it was a bro move. I like that.
AL 3-0, and if not, why not?
I think it's AL 3-0. I think it's just Tabe diff. He's too good.
Okay, Tabe diff. Thank you, Dom.
Hope coming in.
On. Able to walk away. The ricochet coming out. Hope with the barrier early here. Looking for a bit of extra damage on the trade. Ghost was popped by Elk as well. As those ricochets continue just to chip away at On and Elk.
Yeah, nice to hear from Dom. And it's good that Shock spilled something from Cadrill's setup, but just don't ask her what she spilled over at Dom's. Yeah. You notice she kept that under wraps in the interview.
Paid Dom off just to not mention it for the rest of the stream.
Now, when we think about early prio, you'll notice that Hope and Kyle already have the push. Kyle, he is posturing in a way where he is fishing for a hook. The damage is very serious. I'm a little bit worried for this BLG bot lane. There's the hook.
The hook on has to flash.
Yep, that's why I was
Meanwhile,
worried.
in the mid lane, Shanks is just dead. Base one with a great gank. 3 camps into gank, gets Knight ahead.
That is a super big play in the mid lane.
That is massive, being able to actually get that kill there. Great start now for Knight. Yes, they lose flash on bot side, but getting Knight on this Akali ahead could pay dividends.
Certainly could. I mean, Akali, her weakest phase is in the early phase, and getting those early levels and just that extra bit of experience, that extra bit of gold can make such a massive difference in the 1v1 matchup. And on the top side, Bin is just dominating, already building up about a wave of an advantage in the 1v1.
I love this from Base 1. It's something we saw from him in game 1 as well. The 3 camps into gank, setting up your laners really well, gets the edge of Ishtar, and then there's really nothing Shanks can do in this situation.
Yeah, and it's just kind of the anti-timing there for Shanks. He had the level advantage on Knight, and he had Knight quite low, so he wanted to press the advantage there, not expecting the early gank, but Tarzan topside not to be outdone.
And has flash, has riposte, will lunge away. Needs to riposte the bot breaker and does so. Gets the stun, trades back onto Flandre. But with Kyle and Hope on their way, Bin needs to be a little bit more cautious. Does still have the flash. Kyle has one of his own. Won't send out the hook.
Dances around it well. You can see the ignite was even popped by Flandre. And the swap even came through, so AL doing everything in their power to try and put Bin behind, put that pressure onto the Fiora, but now he can just TP to the bot lane. He can continue in his 1v1 matchup, as the response from BLG will be sending their bot lane to top as well.
And notice that Flandre's not going to TP to match, so he's going to hold onto his teleport here, and there's the hook. Oh, that would have been a kill. He has no flash, and Tarzan was there, but just can't quite find
Getting
it.
that pink.
I think he might even be losing a plate though down bot.
Kill that vision there.
So yes, you have that teleport advantage, but now you have to get something on top side. Otherwise, you've just gifted Bin an even larger lead.
It's about 300 gold ahead right now.
You're right, it was the play in the bot lane.
Gets the plate as well. Flandre on this Gwen, obviously very comfortable, but I'm not sure how often he's had to play the Fiora Gwen matchup.
Yeah, and I want to talk a little bit about Shanks and his journey, because I do think it has been truly incredible to see what he has been able to do.
Go 14.
Oh, so close with the auto Shanks.
Oh. Oh.
And it's just like he said, to
the
succeed,
flash.
the first fail. He gets killed by the gank. He gets the solo bolo as Knight goes too far. Look at this timeline though. The struggles that he had from a 0-16 roster, a 4-12 roster, all the way here to getting a solo kill on match point against Knight to push yourself to top 3 at MSI. It is hard to believe that someone would still have faith that they could make that journey when they were in the depths of those challenges.
It's just such a contrast where Knight came in and very early on in his career he was finding success, as opposed to Shanks, who has had to work so hard for so long to reach this pinnacle. It is incredibly meaningful to get the better of Knight as well, just like he did in the finals, and getting that solo kill just closes that goal gap between the two mid laners in the matchup as well. Knight will now take over to level 6. AL hovering around the top side.
Look at Shanks, he's here.
The hook only hits a minion. Shanks has roamed from the base there towards that top lane, had the Tibbers.
Yeah, it kind of felt like Kyle waited too long to actually go for the play there. You know, Shanks made the roam. He's going to be losing CS mid lane, and I think, again, they're going to be dropping a plate very likely because Knight had quite a bit of alone time in the mid lane there, so we'll see if one did actually fall. But Knight up a good 300 gold off of that failed roam there from Shanks, where, yeah, I just think Kyle waited way too long to actually look for that play.
Shanks definitely playing towards getting his spells out a little bit quicker with the Ionian Boots of Lucidity start here on the Annie, roaming around the map trying to find those ganks.
Look at the lead that Bin has built for himself. The pings were even coming down from BLG. They expected Tarzan to have stolen away the Krugs, given the investment that was spent on the top side. And he's still not afraid. He doesn't slow down with his aggression. He realizes even in the 2v1 with the damage that he's been able to do to Flandre, that he would be able to outplay in that situation. And so BLG, slowly but surely, even after the small blunder in mid lane, they built themselves a 700 gold lead.
BLG will be really happy with how this game's going, especially with Bin getting some free time. Similarly to game 1, he's got this early lead. Question is how effective he can be with it, because in game 1, obviously, AL did a really good job of making sure that Jax could never find flanks, could never find good team fights. Also shutting down on that Nico helped them out to great effect. Shanks here might be the target for BLG as Beishuan is waiting just around the corner. Kyle here to cover his mid. Beishuan going in, has the Impale. There's Tibbers down. Kyle will eat the suppression and might eat the Impale too, but Knight is not targeting him at all. Stunned up by Shanks. Kyle with a great bouncer play there for Shanks.
Yeah, really well done by both Kyle and Shanks. Kyle eats the CC, and notice that Shanks is not just hitting Beishuan, he's immediately targeting the Akali so that Knight cannot follow up. Or if he does, he might have been able to kill Kyle, but he absolutely would have died for it. So really well played there by the mid support duo from AL.
Honestly surprised. Like, I was expecting Knight to just fully ult and commit to that play. Flandre, now the target of a dive.
No Impale for Beishuan, but no flash for Flandre. Does have the Ignite, will dash across with skip and slash. Needle works on.
Yeah, he doesn't win this.
Will bring him back. Meanwhile, on the bot side, we see a great dive.
I got one for one.
AL answer back with a kill of their own, and On didn't come.
Could have been worse.
Yeah, well played there by Flandre, able to delay enough so that he's able to get that bailout to actually expire before he did go down. Really nicely done. But you have to look and see, Bin almost has his teleport back, so this TP that Flandre held onto, that he gave up a plate and a wave for, he hasn't gotten really much of anything for until now. He's just going to TP back out towards top.
Do hope we'll get an opportunity to see the dive that happened in bot lane. Oh, 1 HP.
Calculated, not even close.
Not even close. Tarzan walks away with a stolen red buff as Beishuan secures the grubs on the top side of the map. But AL being proactive on the map, it really did feel like based on how the laning phase was going, that things were just, oh, hang on a minute, Bin
jumping in onto Flandre here, puts down the grand challenge, and Beishuan's there to answer it. Flandre, no flash, no hope of surviving. Bin finds his vital and takes his kill.
So we're reaching a critical point in the matchup, and Bin, I think the value that Beishuan provided there was bringing Flandre back away from the tower, giving Bin a little bit more time to secure that kill, but this is only going to get harder for Flandre. As you can see in the 1v1, this Fiora is really starting to become a problem.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and it's a little bit reminiscent to game number 1, you know, where again, you know, Bin got alone time down in the bot lane off of this earlier swap. This time it was matched, but not by the teleport. You know, that give Bin a bit of an advantage, but he is potentially caught out.
Pops the riposte, has the flash, will flash and then bolt his way away, but the hook from Kyle finds his man, and now the chase continues. Hope opens up with the boomerang blades.
Oh, this Gwen is getting shit on this game.
An extendo arm there, but
That's
BLG trying to threaten the dive onto Flandre. No third member here, so this would be a very risky play to go for, especially because the ulti just came back up.
It's interesting how AL is just heavily committing into trying to keep Bin down. They recognize the situation they're in on the side lane, but they're investing ganks to try and punish. They are foregoing a lot of neutral objectives as a result of this. This will be the first dragon of the game. You earlier, Azelle, talked about how AL was a super grubs priority team, but they abandoned it in order to make sure they could make that effective dive onto Bin. He finds himself with a 1-2 scoreline, but still up 400 gold against Flandre.
Does have that gold lead, but in trouble is Knight.
Knight has to try and jump away with the perfect execution and will manage to escape. Has that R2 now, but no real way to use it. Dashes back to the safety of his tower. Beishuan on an Elk here to try and protect. Ishtar's impact coming out. Good ultimate from Kyle to stop the channel, but the Impale cannot be stopped. Kyle pulled back and taken out by Elk.
Dying so that his mid laner could live. As you highlighted, Medic, a really good use of the ultimate from the Blitzcrank to interrupt the charge from Beishuan. But then when the ulti came through from Elk, there was nothing that Shanks could do to help his support. He appreciates his sacrifice as BLG get themselves another pick.
You've got to give credit to Beishuan. He has been very active so far this game, involved in everything that has been going their way. The level 3 kill that they're able to get in mid lane, the attack up towards the top side, helping Bin get a kill. Again here in the mid lane, multiple times putting on that pressure. I feel like he is playing a great game. Even though everyone,
so many
rightfully
ones.
so, would be favoring Tarzan very heavily in this jungle matchup, I think Beishuan has been having a pretty good showing.
Yeah, his early game in this game has been absolutely phenomenal. Like in game 1 when he got ahead on the Trundle, got his team a couple of early kills. The problem is for BLG, often when they do get ahead in the early game, especially against AL, they chase a little bit too far. And when you're chasing into things like a Sivir, an Annie, a Gwen, it can be your demise.
It absolutely can, and when you're thinking about how the comps do work later on, you can see how BLG can win if they can get into that backline with the Fiora and with the Akali, but it is going to be really hard to pull off. Whereas I feel like what AL wants to do is very simple. You Sivir R, your 4 kind of short-range people, they run in, and Sivir is just having that space created by the aggression from the rest of the team. Sivir just has to hit anything, basically, and ricochet through. So I feel like AL are set up for success.
On has the hostile takeover, and he'll use it immediately. Ishtal's impact onto Tarzan, trying to use the shield to survive with the cease and desist. Only going on to Elk won't be enough. Elk claims his 3rd kill of the game, as Shanks will be able to secure the Scuttle Crab towards the top side. Beishuan still chasing, flashing forward, and pulls Shanks back to the waiting arms of Knight. Shanks has to flash away, dodges the impale, but Knight's on the chase. A perfect execution might be enough. Knight has to flash the wall. The chase continues. Kyle here once again to defend his mid lane. Exhaust Beishuan.
Everyone's just barely getting away this game.
The stun from Shanks on across the wall won't have enough with the loyalty program. And Shanks will smoke Beishuan.
It really is a bloodbath here in game 3. 13 minutes in, 5 to 5 in kills. And every single play that BLG make, AL is looking to respond. This time around, it was an example of BLG overextending just a little bit. They thought that they could chase down Shanks. The flash even committed by Beishuan, but Knight on the turnaround from Shanks almost lost his life.
They absolutely did. I mean, AL going to get a lot here, though. No TPs there to actually answer that top wave push, so Hope is going to cash in now. He's going to get paid with those plates. He just finished his cull cash out as well. We can watch it one more time. This is just a great pick from On. Pulls in the enemy jungler. There is the CC layering immediately coming through from Beishuan. Tarzan tries his best to try to survive there, getting this under Sky proc on multiple members, using the passive. But then this chase, yes, there's the flash forward from Beishuan, and it looks like it's going to be a kill onto Shanks, but Shanks is able to buy so much time.
The stun that comes through from Shanks' ultimate buys him time to escape. Here, though, Knight, I do think he just needed one more auto attack, and I guess he was worried about the cooldown of Shanks' Q that would have finished him off. Bin now supported by his team.
On the hunt coming out from Hope as they look to turn onto Beishuan. He's caught up. The needle works out from Flandre, and Beishuan just went too deep to flash away from On. A rocket grab about to find him as AL find another kill.
Feels like a story of the series. A step too far by Beishuan. He overextends, and AL are quick to collapse. Both these teams are ready to skirmish, and this time around it's AL that get the better of the fight.
Tarzan having to flash the chain of corruption, turns it back around onto Elk, has that cease and desist and has his team collapsing, but is the shield enough? Meanwhile, Hope and On fighting down towards the bottom side. Shanks comes in with the tibbers and will kill off Elk. On able to retreat. Bin trying to get onto Shanks, but Shanks uses the blast wisely to get himself over the wall.
Really well played there. Tarzan realizes, you know what, I can't get out from this situation. I just need to buy enough time for my mid laner to get over here to knock down Elk. As Elk really does feel like the hope right now. We talk so much about Bin, we talk so much about Knight, but Elk is the one here playing this on-hit Varus and has the 4 early kills.
Oh, a great repulse by Bin.
The idea there being that the silence comes through. Ooh, Flandre now the one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Flandre gets out of this one. He's already used the skip and slash. There's the impale follow-up. Knight gets his second, and BLG continue to punch back.
BLG do punch back, but again, it's the towers now. So we saw them get that tower top side low. Flandre finished that off. That's first tower. That was Boots. Now they get another tower on the other side of the map. AL are constantly pushing. So even though BLG are finding picks, are finding fights, it's always at the cost of something else. And it feels like BLG should be the ones ahead in gold, but it's AL with the over 1K gold lead here. And quietly, Sivir getting very strong.
If BLG could have gotten this extra dragon, at the very least they could have bought a little bit more time, relied on the fact that they have these strong side lanes, but AL put a lot of focus on securing these outer towers, and that's where a lot of this additional gold is coming from. The good news for BLG, though, is Knight getting some solo time on the top side of the map. He will secure a tower for himself. You can see that with that first item completed, moving away from the rocket belt and going for a little bit more burst damage, that assassination tool that is super valuable in those 1v1s and on the side lane. Flandre trying to defend the tower.
BLG are going to collapse, though. Ishtal's impact will get Flandre into the wall. Hope popping the on the hunt to try and get Flandre out. There's a chain of corruption follow-up. TP coming in by Bin as they turn all their attention onto Flandre. Bin will take one, put into the bailout, but won't be able to be revived. And now the chase continues for anyone's legend. Beishwan running for the hills. Knight and Elk, can you escape the clutches of Tarzan? Good flash away, cease and desist. Available, though, for the buys. They continue to chase forward. Hope flashes in, and Tarzan lives. A double for Hope in the end. AL clean up the fight.
BLG sent 5 top, but it is AL standing strong here, playing out the fight incredibly well. Hope was just cooking them on that one. BLG now so far behind off of this fight.
You hit the nail on the head, as Hope's positioning was fantastic. He was in a 2 versus 5, and he threw the ultimate out.
Fireball.
It was a defensive measure, but to be ready for the arrival of his team to say, we are ready to turn this fight around. BLG committed everything to getting that pick onto Flandre, but it cost them so much.
Beishwan going forward here. Hope once again putting the damage down. Impale was dodged, and the bailout just gives him time to watch him die. Shanks now unstoppable, 5-1 on this Annie.
The spent flash just adding insult to injury there as Beishwan flashed out with that bailout. But the disintegrate followed, knocked him down, and that is a big playmaking tool gone. That is all of the outers gone, and that is AL starting again to run away with this one. On match point here, looking for a date with T1.
This game is getting too chaotic for
Alright,
BLG. Knight and Flandre, Bin, they need time. They want to be playing in the 2 versus 1s. They want to be 2v2s. They want to be skirmishing on a side lane. When you're forcing these big 5v5 fights, Hope is just going to do so much damage. Look at the ricochet. It's just bouncing through all the members of BLG. Then the rest of AL arrive, and while Bin does get the initial kill, it's immediately traded back. Shanks joins the fray. Tarzan setting up for the collapse. They forego chasing down Beishwan, knowing they can't run him down. And you can see that Tarzan a little hesitant to ulti here, but he knows that the rest of his team is following up, so he's prepared to sacrifice his life, ready for the turnaround pick, but he doesn't even fall.
I mean, just so much patience there from Tarzan. In multiple fights, we've seen him hold on to this ult. He's not just sending it immediately. He goes in with the Q, forces the flash, backs off to keep them interested. Then, once his team is going to be close enough to actually follow up, he goes back in with the ult, knowing, yeah, I might die here, but we are going to win the fight. And look at the damage dealt to champions in the last team fight. Nearly 5K from that Sivir.
A pick for Hope that rings back to his first ever title on JDG. It was the Sivir and the Zeri that carried them to that victory. Now on anyone's legend, it is the Sivir that might carry them to a date with T1 tomorrow. Still, of course, the LCK to work through here. It's a grudge match for the LPL. Have been on the losing side of that too many times in the last few years. And their hopes seem to rest now on anyone's legend.
We'll say that if AL do make it through this series, they will be a new challenger to the many LPL teams that have faced T1 throughout the years. And based on how they're playing, they are making a statement in this series, affirming to the world that if they end this in a 3-0 fashion, they are by far and away the strongest LPL team at this tournament.
And a team that's evolved as well. It's not just you've played against different people, you've beaten different people. They've shown their development, beating BLG 3-2, 3-1, and now would be 3-0. Mikhail's out from Kyle. Beishwan looking for the Ishtal's impact. TP coming in as well from Knight. A short burst of movement for him there as he joins up with the fight. Bin is here in the mid lane. Flandre is not. He's pushing out through bots.
And you can feel the desperation sinking in a little bit when you're spending flash ult to hopefully get a pick on a Blitzcrank. And he just has the perfect Mikhails.
There's a hook onto on. Hope opens up and will take down on. Tarzan jumping forward as well. Ishtal's impact will lock him against the wall, the Impale as well. And Tarzan will fall. Flandre coming in, and there's no one protecting the back line. Knight has to dash away, but Shanks now dominating. Elk snipped away by Flandre. Bin trying to do anything he can to survive. He's forced back to his tier 2.
It all starts with a single hook. Kyle finding that pick onto On. The rest of BLG quickly tried to turn that into a winning fight, but it ends in disaster. The good news for BLG is that they take out Tarzan, they take out the jungler from AL, but already back out onto the map. The double TPs come mid.
Bin will be able to walk away from this one, even with the Molten Shield. I'm not sure Shanks can chase. Kyle going for the overdrive. That extra movement speed will expire. There's the riposte. And yes, he will. Did have to use an ability to get out, but Bin still survives. The Dragon is up, as is the Otacon. AL in such a prime position to close out this game.
You can see BLG pings onto the Otacon there, but there's so many wards in their jungle that AL is going to know what's going on. Even if you go up through here, you're going to be spotted by all the wards on that side of the map. And now you can see the counter pings coming in from AL, noting that BLG is not looking for that dragon. They are going to try to go for a risky play. And if they commit to an Otacon and AL catch them on it, it is going to be problems.
Love the positioning here from On, waiting to see if someone oversteps. TP behind, there's the handshake. Base one looking for the chase here onto Kyle. Good static field will stop the channel. Knight trying to get in from the side. Tarzan shadowing Bin, marking him, making sure he can't get in. The chain of corruption, and Bin is deleted. On next up here for anyone's legend, they'll find two. It's a bloodbath so far. BLG are cooked as AL clean them up. The flash forward from Shanks will find the stun, and the Knight must bow to Shanks. Elk chased away, nothing he can do. Shattered and bruised, BLG can only watch as AL clean it up.
It is a clean 5-0 ace in favor of AL. BLG desperate to try and find any pick. They set up for a collapse onto Kyle, but it ends in disaster.
Yeah, and Hope had base. That's why he was late to the fight, but he shows up with the third item, the Infinity Edge completed, and you knew as soon as he arrived, it was curtains for BLG. They try to find a pick. They are punished so heavily here. AL fully commit to the chase, knowing that this is their fight. No way that BLG can fight back. Elk tries his best, and they have got to know it. They are so close now to sealing the deal here.
6,000 gold ahead. The Otacon secured as well. About 700 extra gold out of that. Kyle stealing the Raptors. This guy has been an absolute menace here for anyone's legend. And for BLG, you're wondering, is there a way back in? Yes, perhaps if we can kill off Hope, but then you've got to deal with Shanks, you've got to deal with Flandre, who's on 2 items on this Gwen as well. It just becomes a mountainous, a monstrous task now for BLG.
Tarzan looking at a faded rematch against T1. The opportunity to get his revenge as AL take their second dragon of the game. The Baron spawning in 45 seconds. An 8-1-6 Shanks scoreline. An impressive performance for him, especially in the early game. He was the one that was targeted. All of the pressure was put onto his lane, yet he weathered the storm. And on a champion that back in 2023 was synonymous with Knight, the Annie that he was consistently bringing out at MSI. Shanks getting the better of his lane opponent and working with Hope to dominate here in Game 3.
Shanks has been stellar, but Hope as well, as you're mentioning, a 13-1-3 on the Lucian. He is now 7-0-10 on the Sivir. Feels like he has barely stepped a foot wrong, as this duo have been absolutely incredible.
Percentage, just incredible. The ult goes in.
Look for the cease and desist, and immediately they jump onto base one. No real escape for him. Meanwhile, Hope has been caught by On. Knight gets him. A grand in the pocket of Knight. He's found his payday, but can BLG find the fight? Tarzan gets one in response, but Knight answers with another. Shanks is down as Bin will snip him. Flandre trying to fight the 2v1, but Elk still stands. Somehow, from somewhere, BLG find the fight.
BLG are not down and out just yet. An impressive team fight comes through. They close the gold gap just like that, and they're setting their sights on the Baron.
They can do it. They can absolutely do it. It's an on-hit Varus here. Knight just needs to tank it up, and they will eventually be able to knock this down. No one's going to be respawning in time, and Hope this time does get caught on the way out. Actually, can they? This is getting a bit risky.
Knight jumping back in. Doesn't have the Riftmaker for any of that extra healing. Elk can now tank it, and they should be able to get it.
All right. We've been live for about 4 hours. I'm going to call it here. Thank y'all for tuning in.